Nancy Buka. I'm the Dean at the Aga Khan University's Graduate School of Media and Communications. I'm also an Associate Professor of Journalism, Media and Communication. Never in a million years did I imagine that I would one day be in an academic institution, because I come from a family of academics. My grandfather was a professor, my mother was a teacher, and we have many people in the academy within my family. And I didn't think that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted the glitz and glam that is in the media space. So I studied journalism with a bias towards electronic media and communication, and then started off in broadcasting. So one of the places that I spent time at is, this particular station where you're from, the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, which helped me a lot in honing my journalism skills and gave me a sense of direction. I also spent some time at the Nation when they started their broadcasting division, where we were doing a lot of research to inform the production of current affairs programming. And then I think the media just became too hot. Or, looking at the inspiration that I drew from my family, I thought, why not, pursue other things. I got a scholarship to go into a master's program, and that sort of propelled me to get into the academy. So as I was taking my master's program, I also had an opportunity to teach, of course, under the tutelage of seasoned academics, and that sort of made me divert from the media into the academy. My main motivation for that, of course, was to make my mother happy, because she felt teaching was a noble profession. But then I also had a genuine passion in knowledge transfer. Working with young people and helping them learn and study was quite exciting. I know at AKU currently at GSMC we work a lot more with graduate students who are people who are working in the industry. But just that passion to be able to transfer knowledge, kept me going. And I think just being in an environment of continuous learning, I love taking risks, and I think what the academy does is that every new day is different. It's not prescriptive. It's different, and you're always learning. When you think you know something, you just discover that you know very, very little. So being in that space where I'm continuously learning and I'm being challenged by my students and my peers and doing research is a thrill, really. It's very exciting. That's essentially what I do every day. But I consider myself an adaptive leader in the sense that, you know, things change every day, and what you think you realize you don't. There's quite a lot of change and transformation that's happening on a day-to-day basis. And so my leadership style is highly adaptable. I adapt to different situations, to different environments, to different contexts, to different challenges on a day-to-day basis. So I wouldn't say that, this is my style and this is the way that it works. I look at every situation and every conversation that I have, and I see how best to lead, within that context. So if we're looking at, what term that would be, then I consider myself an adaptive leader. So I'm actually living the challenge right now. I'm actually right at the front and center of a challenge within within the leadership role that I currently hold. And why do I say that? I am leading a school at a time when the media and the leadership role that I currently hold. And why do I say that? I am leading a school at a time when the media and communication industry is going through a lot of change and transformation. A lot of the business models as we've known them that have sustained media have been upended, Technology has disrupted a lot of the things that we would do and how we knew how to do staff in media. And yet you have students who enroll into your programs. They're coming from that space, and they want an environment where they can learn, unlearn some of the things that they've always known how to do, and also learn, new advancements and innovations that then they can take back almost immediately into their everyday work environments, because we basically have students who come from the newsrooms, who come from media organizations into the classroom and then go back tomorrow the next morning. So the challenges that they're bringing to us are not abstract. It is what they're encountering in their everyday work environment. Now, you can imagine if you're leading a school that is supposed to sort of provide some answers or a sense of direction to these people, and they're coming to you with a lot of expectation. So one of the ways in which we have navigated that is that, one, we recognize that our students are not your typical students. They are partners in the whole learning environment. Now, what does that mean? That a lot of the experiences that they're bringing into the classroom enrich the discussion. But two, also ensuring that we have the right faculty profile. And I must say that as at TKU or at GSMC, one of our strengths is the quality of faculty that we have, whether it's local or international faculty. So ensuring that we have the right pool of teachers, recruiting, the right faculty who are then able to help in answering some of those questions or unraveling those challenges that the students are presenting. The other thing is that, the allowing for professionals to be part of that discourse that's happening in the classroom. So we have professors of practice who help in showing, the practice side of a lot of the issues that our students are bringing into the classroom. And the other thing is encouraging the students to stay the course and to see the value of the work that they're doing. Practicing journalism at a time of great disruption, at a time when misinformation is a headache for everybody, and also just allowing them to, or showing them why what they do is important and why it's valuable. So it's a challenge, but it's one that is not insurmountable. It's one that we've been able to navigate, and it's one that we are also learning even as we lead in that space. Mentorship is great. You are privileged to be working with some of the people who mentored me as a young girl right out of university. Mary Daraja is one of them. And mentorship is extremely important because oftentimes for women, in a lot of the spaces that we are working in, you find that they are more male than women. Within the media space, research has shown that in a typical news setup, you're likely to find almost 70% male and 30% women. The scales are tipping, but very, very slowly. And one of the things that we are doing as the Graduate School of Media and Communications is, one, through the training and education and professional development, that we then are equipping, a huge percentage of women to be able to have the confidence and the credentials to take on, those leadership roles. So mentorship is important because, one, women are able to see what's possible. When they can see women leaders, then they can aspire to be in those positions because they can see that somebody has done it. But one of the things that I always say is that for those of us in these positions, there are lots of books that have been written around, shattering the glass ceiling for women. And I always say that, it might look easy at face value, but it isn't, So it's important that as part of that mentorship, that for those of us in these positions, that we're also vulnerable enough to let those younger women understand and appreciate the challenges that come with being in those positions. That whereas it might look doable, at face value, and it might look easy. It doesn't come without, without challenges. But also providing an opportunity for young women to be able to network. And that networking is critical, because then you establish relationships and contacts, and then people who can say your name in a room, and say, I think for this assignment you can trust Christine, or you can trust Regina, or you can trust, person X to be able to do it. If you're not in that space where you're being mentored and being coached, then you're not going to have the people who are going to say your name in the room where the decisions are actually being made. In my life, my own personal story is one that is where it is today because of a lot of women who have held me in, have held my hand, have supported me. I work with a team of brilliant women across all ages, and they support the work that I do. And so I see them more as partners, When I got into the academy, my first boss was a woman. I had no idea what it means to stand before a class of 60 students and deliver a lecture. And I walked out of our class and I said, I'm not doing this again. I can't have 120 eyes looking at me and hoping that I'll tell them something that they can go out and use at the end of the day. So, but she nudged me on, and her name was Mary Kizito, nudged me on, encouraged me, supported me. So throughout my life, my PhD supervisor, Professor Ann Miller, is a woman. So I've had very, very strong women mentors. One of the things that REST does is that it provides you an opportunity to step back from everything else. For women, the challenge of exercising leadership is sometimes much more than it would be for men. There are lots of expectations. There are instances where sometimes you have to work twice as hard, and that opportunity to step back, what I call finding your sanctuary, is critical. It's part of an investment in yourself as a woman. So when we think about investing in yourself or investing in women, one is part of that investment in women is also recognizing that they will need time to rest, recharge, rejuvenate. And that then gives you an opportunity to even just rediscover who you are again as a woman. Who exactly am I, and why do I do the stuff that I do? And that's important. You can only be your authentic self if you have time to rest and recharge. So it's critical. I value it. I really cherish those moments where I have a chance to do that. I realize that there'll be days when that's not possible, but where I find an opportunity to do that, I truly take it and value it, because when I then come back from that rest, I'm better at what I do. I have a clearer focus, and I'm energized, to take on a lot more. I think women have come a long way. We have come a long way, and we also need to be kind to ourselves. We are doing well. We need to be a little kinder to ourselves, and to take care of ourselves in everything that we do. I think for society places a burden. We nurture, in our family setups. We are role models for a lot of women who are looking up to us to be mentors. And in all that, sometimes we push ourselves too hard, and we think we're not good enough, But my encouragement to women as we celebrate us is that, we're doing well, and we need to take a moment to pat ourselves on the back and say, we got this.
Y254. Imagine.
Shining in the setting sun like a pearl upon the ocean. Come and feel me, oh feel me.
कुछ कुछ होता है क्या करूँ हाय
पी लूं है पीने का मौसम तेरे संग इश्क तारी है.
Here on Power Talk Show, we handle conversations of current affairs that directly affect you. We do a deep dive on conversations that involve relationships, mental health, finances, and other trending issues. We also share stories of people who have faced adversaries and managed to overcome them.
I'm a person who tried committing suicide 3 times. Yes, before I reached class 7.
Tune in to Power Talk each and every Thursday at 7:10 p.m. and join in the conversation with me, Cheryl Blessing, using the hashtag PowerTalk.
It's art, it's culture, it's fun, it's attitude. We sample some of the best artistic works locally and beyond our borders. Oh, and don't get me started on the cultural events. Music, dance, fine art, culinary arts, and much, much more. You name it, and we have got you covered. My name is Kevin Kasioki. Please join me each and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on Y254 channel.
Y254. Imagine.
A very good morning. Karibu sana to Y254 TV. Happy New Year. I trust you started the year well. I have missed you. Mwah. Oh my God. Anyway, I trust you are well this morning and that you started your week, your day, your year, your month amazingly. Karibu sana to Y254. This is Y in the Morning, your only favorite station. The #1 youth station in the 254. My name is Grace Maingi. Just in case you've not been part of the family, my name is Grace Maingi. But if you've been part of the family, karibu back. Wageni karibuni sana, kaeni chini mjisi mko nyumbani, mjisi mnaweza pewa, tunaweza wapea kahawa hivi mkunywe na kachai, you know, everything amazing. We are serving you nothing short of good vibes, great conversations, amazing stories, and good music. I trust that mko salama. I do not know where to start. I have a lot of things to fill you in. Anyway, tukianza mwaka, Valentine ametuma salamu zake, ako hapa hewani hivi anarudi ghafla binvu. Ukifungua macho, wanasemanga fumba la kufumbua macho, ya ukifumba na ufumbue macho utamuona. But in the meantime, she sends her love and greetings. But sasa, because she's not here, let me guys fill you in on the amazing things that happened during Christmas. Mulikuwa wapi Chrissy? Mulifanya nini New Year's? Okay, mimi nilikuwa wapi? On Christmas, I spent Christmas in church, then went, okay, yeah, I know, I was in church. So I went to church, went with my family, had a great time with my folks and siblings, And yeah, it was amazing time with family and friends. And you know, I trust Mliji Enjoy. I trust Mliji Enjoy. I trust you shared your Christmas with someone. I trust you were a blessing to someone, and by a blessing, I want to say that I think tuliambiana Chrissy that we told each other during Christmas that we are going to share Christmas and New Year's with people. Yeah, I remember I was here during Christmas that day, and we said what? We are going to share Christmas with people. So I trust that ulishare Chrissy na mtu na ulikuwa a blessing to someone. You reached out to someone and you were able to be an amazing person during the holidays. Now we are back, and it's back like we are back. Hey, sasa nilikuwa nasema nini hiyo? Okay, we are back like bacteria. Oh yeah. Okay, natafuta tu vitu natafuta vitu zina rhyme too. Yeah, so we flow to na mimi. Whether I am saying things that are coherent or you just flow. History ni ya nani? History ni ya? Story ni yangu. But then again, this morning I want to ask you my vital question that I keep asking every single day. What are you grateful for? What are you grateful for this morning as the year begins? This being date 8. We are on actual guy. Come date 8. My God. I was thinking to go date 7. My Lord. So this being date 8 of January, we are on day 8 of the year, day 8 of 365. Yeah, hii mwaka ni 2020. Oh yeah, it's not a leap year, so it's 2020. It's 365 days. So we are on date 8 of 365 days. We are on date 8 of 368. Why? Mimi nimeongeza zangu tatu. Okay, we are on date 8 of 365 days. So what are you grateful for this morning? What are you grateful for this morning? We have so much to be grateful for. There is life, there is health, there is the year has started. I know some of us, maybe like me, lost people last year, and we are looking forward to a new year, an amazing year. My question would be, alongside what are you grateful for, my question would be, what are you anticipating for this year? What are your New Year's resolutions this year? Hey, Mimi, nimewauliza mbona nikasikia kucheka. What are your New Year's resolutions? So Mimi, my New Year's resolution is to become small, to lose weight. Ati nataka lose weight, my God. I feel like, sijui kwa nini hizi video ndio zikumbuka nikishafika hapa kabla nipe bencha ndio atucheze huko juu. Lakini because I have remembered this video right now, I am going to play for you something that I saw yesterday. And this is the story. This is the story of my life. My God. Hey. Yeah, so my New Year's resolution do
First day of New Year.
This is my New Year's resolutions, guys.
On the first day of New Year, I started dieting. By summer, I will be slim.
On the second day of New Year, I started to
join the gym. Well done to me, and by summer, I will be slim. On the third day of New Year, I still wasn't drinking. Congratulate myself, well done to me, and by summer, I will be slim. On the fourth day of New Year, I ordered takeout in. It's just a cheap meal, one will not hurt me. Don't you dare judge me, cause by summer
I will be slim.
On the fifth day of New Year, my muscles were aching, so I skipped the gym. 4 sessions done, 1 day off won't hurt. I will go back tomorrow, but by summer I will be slim. On the sixth day of New Year, the cravings had kicked in. Had a piece of chocolate, I skipped the gym. But I've been really good all sodding weekend. I deserved a treat, but by summer I will be thin. On the 12th day of New Year, I weighed myself again. 12 pounds gained in 11 days of hell. 10 mental breakdowns, 9 nights secret eating, 8 all my feelings, 7 cakes demolished, 6 chocolates finished, cancelled the gym. Forgot the diet 3 days ago. Opened 2 bottles of wine and accepted I'll never be slim.
Yeah, and I have accepted I will never be slim. But I have New Year's resolutions to become slim, guys. So mikiniona mwezi wa 6 nakaa ni kama si yuko slim. Wewe jua niko slim. It is me, my body. But then again, hey, let me tell you what happens, guys. I subscribe to a gym. I go the first week, I go the second week. Alafu unaumwa, alafu naacha na sijambia wacha niache leo. Nikiacha leo ndaenda next year. Naenda next day. Then the next day I wake up and I'm so lazy. Hey, anyway, this year we have said it is the year we finish our resolutions. This year we have said it is the year where we follow through with our dreams and and fulfill them. I remember there was a year, that was like 3-4 years ago. I subscribed to a music school. My God, hata sikumaliza mwezi. Niliacha hiyo school fees huko mpaka waleo nasikianga kwenda kuambia wanirudishe because I didn't do nothing in that school. Then last year, what were my resolutions last year? To save. Hey, did I save? Oh my God. Niulizeni sahi niko na pesa ngapi? Niko almost kuambia ile story yenye unasikianga 1,000 bob urgently. But anyway, what are your resolutions this year? Mine is to become slim. Yeah. To become slim, I am not going to wake up early, so I'm not going to lie that I will wake up early. But then again, become slim, become better. Yeah, those amazing things that we say when the year begins. Yeah, those amazing things that we say when the year begins. So that is the same thing that I am hoping to do. Hizo vitu zenye watu tunasema. Yeah, but anyway, mi nataka kusikia, what are your resolutions? Tuambie mtandaoni kwetu on Y254 TV. That is on our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Talk to me, say hi to me, tell me, what are your New Year's resolutions? Unatarajia nini hii mwaka o mwakani? Kuna watu, wacha nikuambie. Wakamba, my colors people. Amtanimaliza. Nishasikia mmetoa ngoma ya mwakani. Kwanza ilitoka last year ikiisha. Tundulu 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 tu. Mwaka wa 2025. Yeah. Nikishika hiyo ngoma vizuri ndawaimbia hiyo wimbo. Lakini tuko 2025 and I want to know your New Year's resolutions. I want you to say hi to me. I want you to, tell me something this morning. Niambie unasikiza or you're watching from where. Tell me what's making your morning this morning. Tell me what are your New Year's resolutions. And also tell me what are you grateful for. Pick any of those questions that you would want to answer. And I will be reading your comments right here on Y254 TV hapa tu studioni mtandaoni. Lakini in the meantime nataka kukusomea kitu fulani niliona huku mtandaoni yenye ilinifanya nikacheka kwa sababu it affects me too, or rather I have found myself in that situation. The question was, what's the weirdest thing you've overheard while pretending to be asleep? What's the weirdest thing you've overheard while pretending to be asleep? What's the weirdest thing you've overheard while pretending to be asleep? Number 1. I overheard my aunt's husband telling his side chick outside that he was going to be involved in the twins' life. We later found out that while being married to me, my aunt had another woman outside with twins. If I didn't hear him, we'd have never known. I must have been 10. I was asleep and my aunt was telling my mom. My cousin, who was 12, had found her dad in a compromising situation with another person who was also underage. To this day, no one knows I found out. Alright. Was on a group trip with some friends and all of us had to cram onto bed so we wouldn't have to fall asleep on the floor. After a night of drinking, 3 of us passed out on one bed. I woke up needing to use the washroom and I had my friend. Okay. Hiyo hata siwezi endelea, wacha tu. Natafuta, kuna comment fulani natafuta. People talking about how easy it will be to take advantage of me, but ultimately deciding not to have had because they cared about me and respected me. All right. What else? Sasa mbona hiyo comment ile senye unaitafuta uioni. Where are you? Why are you itorokaing me. But the thing was, ni nini ushaisikia ukiwa umelala? It's just crazy fun stuff to talk about. Nothing, it's just entertainment content, please. Niliwaambia what I say is purely for entertainment purposes. So, what have you ever had watu wakikuongelelea ukiwa umejifanya umelala? You see that place where you're half asleep, half awake, half asleep, half awake, and then wanaambua wacha tukaongelele sasa. So, for me, one time I was sleeping. Not pretending, but let me, ukiwahi niona nimelala mchana karibu na wewe, usifikirie nimelala 444. Hey, I love sleeping, and I sleep any time of the day, whether it is mchana or usiku. But during the day, do not think I am asleep. Do not lie to yourself that I have slept for 4 So, one of these days I'm asleep. Nimelala tu hivi tu venye nimekaa. I was just asleep, and the guys around me thought I was busy sleeping. Ushisikia watu wakikuongelelea izile maukweli zenye wanasema zenye hawawezi kukuambia to your face. Hey. Ilibidi nimeamka nichangie hiyo story. Kwa sababu, why are you talking about me as if I am not here? Because you're thinking I am asleep. Yeah. You're thinking I am asleep. That's why you're talking about me. And I was there. Ilifika place nilikuwa nimelala. By the way, I was asleep. I was sleeping. Nilikuwa nimekaa kwa kiti nimelala. So nimelala hivi, nimelala. Nikiwa nimelala nikasikia hizo stories zenye wanaongea zinaniwasha, because they were talking about me thinking I am asleep. So nikasikia hiyo story inaniwasha, wacha ni comment. Nilicomment hawakuamini. Hey. What's the weirdest thing you've had while sleeping? But then again, other than that, or far away from that, what habits are we leaving behind in 2024? Ni habits gani mbaya tunaacha? Alongside kuongelelea watu wakiwa wamelala, tukifikiria hawajalala, what are the bad habits are we leaving behind in 2024? Choose kuacha nini behind? For me, what's the one bad habit I am choosing to leave behind? Atuhendi na hiyo habit 2025. The habit of procrastination. I think my name should be Grace Procrastination. Yeah. I should be, instead of Grace Maingi, I should be Grace Procrastination. Or rather, I should be called Procrastination Grace. Yeah. Because, man, I love procrastinating. Oh my God. Hata kitu yenye nafaa kufanya saa hii ndasema, okay, ndafanya baadaye. Sometimes I feel, I don't know. I think sometimes I just feel too tired to do it. But it's not that I am too tired to do it. It's because my mind has already reclined to the fact that I can always procrastinate it to do it later. And so the other day, Juicy, a friend of mine, slapped me with reality. Akaniambia, do you know what procrastination is? Procrastination is the arrogant assumption that you're going to see tomorrow. Or rather, it's the arrogant assumption that you're going to have another chance to do what you were meant to do. So when I thought about it, I was like, what? By the way, come to think of it, procrastination ni ile assumption ya sintaifanya tu, see, you know. And thinking about it, I was like, yo, why are I always assuming that I will be alive in the next 10 minutes to do that thing? People are dying left, right, center, or other people are getting sick left, right, center. They can't be able to do the things or rather achieve their dreams. So why am I assuming that what I want to have done a certain time, I am pushing it to the next time? So this year, I am trying to be better at procrastination. No, I am trying to avoid procrastination. Yeah, I am very afraid. I do not know why. I just love procrastination. Unaweza niambia sai, Grace, tufanye kitu fulani. It's very easy for me to do it right now. In the next, even it won't even take me 5 minutes. But I would rather say, tufanye baadaye, or, yeah. Yeah, because I love procrastination. I love procrastination, and it's a bad habit. So if you're like me, please, this year, let's do better. Let's try to do better. We are not procrastinating this year. We are not going to be lazy this year. We are not going to be gossipers this year. We are not going to take advantage of people. Watching anyone. Kwanza hiyo mambo ya take advantage of people. Mimi, I do not know why you assume that nimesirika hata nikifikiria hiyo maneno. Nimesirika tu nikifikiria hiyo maneno. But then again, we are going to be better friends. We are going to be better people at work, with our families, with our friends, with our colleagues. We try to be better. And then this year, we try to keep time. Yeah, I'm just going through the things we can do this year to become better people, high value people. Yeah, oh my God. Ndafungua podcast. Anyway, I play too much. But anyway, what I'm talking about, I'm just talking about little nuggets here and there of how they may look like, or how you can become a better person this year. Yeah, and how we can stop bad habits tuziache last year. So tumesema number 1, this year we are not procrastinating. Number 2, this year we are going to be better people. Better people is that we are going to show up and show up big. By showing up and showing up big, I mean when you have something to do, responsibility to do, do it with your entire heart. Like do it as if, let me start preaching, but do it as though you're doing it unto the Lord. So when you wake up, you're going to work, do your work diligently. Don't wait for your boss to follow you around. When you're showing up for your friends, show up wholeheartedly, like show up big time. Usiseme, oh, kiko, kulienda, or kuko, or blah, 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 blah. Show up, like show up and show up big. When you're showing up or at home, or rather with your family, show up if you're a mom, show up for your children. If you're a dad, create more time to spend with the children. I know we are busy hustling and bustling through life to be able to put a meal on our children's plates, or we want to pay bills, but we can try this year to be better parents. All right, if you're a sibling like me, this year I am trying to be a better sibling. I'm trying to spend more time with my siblings. Wasikuwa wananizioneanga huku kwa TV. Yeah, that's the second thing tumesema we are doing. We're going to be better people. We are going to be better people. We are going to not procrastinate. And thirdly, we are going to keep time, right? We are going to keep time. Number 1, we are not procrastinating this year. Number 2, we will show up and show up big. Number 3, we are going to be better stewards of time. So by better stewards of time, I mean, kama unafaa kufika, there's a joke I have started in my home, or rather in my house. There's a joke I have started yenye nasema, if you're on time, you are late. If you're on time, you are late. So kama ulikuwa unafaa ku show up mahali 9 na ume show up 9, you are late. So can we try to be better people? Can we try to be better stewards of time? Personally, I think I try to be better at time. I try. If you ever schedule a meeting with me and tumeagree tunapatana 9 to 11, you show up at 10. Hey, you will either find me gone. And if you find me there, I am not about to extend my time to fit your laziness, or rather to fit your lateness, unless you mean so much to me. So much to me. So if you're in that category like me, we are going to extend a bit more grace to people, but extending grace does not mean that you other people, when you see timekeepers, take advantage of our extension of grace. So what we are going to do, we are going to be better people when it comes to managing time. And finally, okay, number 4, not finally, but number 4, we are going to be generous. Generous what is generosity though? Come to think of it, what is generosity? Let me read that. The dictionary meaning of generosity. What is generosity? What is generosity? So according to the dictionary, generosity is the quality of being kind and generous. It's the quality of being kind and generous. That is, be kind to people, be generous to people, talk to people nicely this year. Ongelesha, patana na security mahali, mwambie good morning, uko salama. It won't take anything from you. Find a waiter in the restaurant or in a hotel, ask them, kabla hata kuserve, usiende kumwambia we nipe chakula, or we nipe drink or something. Just say hi, how are you? Continue your conversations. You go somewhere, there is a receptionist, they need to attend to you. Do not throw your weight around, whether you're an important person or everyone is important. But anyway, whether you are whoever you are or you have whatever title, be kind to people. This year, we're going to be kind and generous. And when you have a little bit, it's not even a little bit extra, but when you have something you can share with people, especially the less fortunate, please be kind to share with people. So tumesema, we are not procrastinating. I am a teacher where I am such a teacher at heart. So we are not procrastinating. 2, we are showing up and showing up big. We show up. It's not enough to show up, but while we show up big. And then thirdly, 1, we are not procrastinating. 2, we are showing up and showing up big. Number 3, we are not going to procrastinate. And then number 4, we are going to be generous. And finally, for the books, number 5 niwape gani. I have so many. So number 5, love. We're going to love people this year. All right, we are going to love people. Bible tells us love everybody. Doesn't tell you to like everybody. So you have a responsibility of loving people. So this year, endeavor to love people, be nice to people, love people, penda tu watu. By the way, kupenda watu haimanishi you must like them, but loving people is a commandment in the a commandment. Hey! My ancestors have come for me. Anyway, loving people is a commandment in the Bible. So, nimewapea 5 things we are going to do this year. We will be recapping them as we go by, but I hope that we become better people. Yeah, we become better people. We leave bad habits in 2024, and this year we move on, we soldier into the year like nice, well-mannered, educated people. So, tutaacha tabia mbaya 2024. Usingizi 2024. Laziness 2024. Procrastination 2024. And kindness 2024. So I believe that with those 5 things, I can take a break so that I come back to tell you a different set of things. Sinimwambia number 1, nimwambia leo sasa tulikuwa tunaongea juu ya vile mwaka umeanza. So number 2, ndakuja kuwapigia story ingine yenye sitawaambia saizi kwa sababu nataka mbaki in suspense. In the meantime, we have our question of the day on our social media handles. Please go to our social media handles. During our WCW, we are going to be tackling the question of the day. Check out our question of the day on Y254 on Facebook, Instagram, and X. I'll be delighted to hear your comments. I'll be delighted to hear you say, to read your greetings, to read your everything amazing that you're going to write to me. And so therefore, I am looking forward to onane wapi? Mtandaoni. Amazing. All right. So I trust that I can take a short break. Then we will be back with more. Do not touch that down.
Y254. Imagine.
Shining in the setting sun like a pearl upon the ocean. Come and feel me, oh feel me.
कुछ कुछ होता है क्या करूँ हाय
Feelूं है पीने का मौसम तेरे संग इश्क तारी है.
Here on Power Talk Show, we handle conversations of current affairs that directly affect you. We do a deep dive on conversations that involve relationships, mental health, finances, and other trending issues. We also share stories of people who have faced adversaries and managed to overcome them.
I'm a person who tried committing suicide 3 times. Yes, before I reached class 7.
Tune into Power Talk each and every Thursday at 7:10 p.m. and join in the conversation with me, Cheryl Blessing, using the hashtag Power Talk.
It's art, it's culture, it's fun, it's attitude. We sample some of the best artistic works locally and beyond our borders. Oh, and don't get me started on the cultural events. Music, dance, fine arts, culinary arts, and much, much more. You name it, and we have got you covered. My name is Kevin Kasioki. Please join me each and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on Y254 channel.
What's up, beautiful people? It's your host with the most, Muna Joy.
And your DJ Faro the Finisher catches every Friday from 6 p.m. mpaka saa 2 usiku on Tano Kali Show.
Right here on Kenya's #1 channel, Y254.
Oh yeah, baby, jamboree. I like the way we go, buddy.
We're going to be giving you hot trending topics that are happening on social media platforms. We will also be interviewing hella talented artists on the show as well.
Kama kawaida, I'll be here to give you the best mixes. Alafu sahau pia kuna top 5 hits of the week.
All right, see you then.
Like I never loved me in my life. So love me like you never loved me.
Identity.
You ever get the feeling that you're like two different people?
Love.
I think about you too.
Lust.
Happy birthday.
Friendship.
You guys are my family. Whoa, what is this?
Escapades that annihilate our innocence. For this is a story of the young and restless.
I love you, Nairobi.
The hungry.
But I want more.
And free-spirited. Sometimes sweet, sometimes sour. Sugar.
Y254. Imagine.
In recent years, a seismic shift has been felt across the beauty landscape as more and more men boldly step into what was once considered exclusively feminine territory. The presence of men in the beauty industry is not only breaking stereotypes, but also reshaping the very definition of masculinity.
I'm Loctician Mash. I've been in the beauty industry for 3 years now. I work at Kimathi Street Corner House at Edu's Hair and Beauty Salon.
Kwa majina naitwa Francis Job. Nimekuwa nikifanya hii kazi ya nails for 7 years.
My name is Ali Dirongo. I'm a nail tech. Nimekuwa kwa hii biashara for over 10 years. Na hii biashara inanipeleka vizuri.
Here we delve into the journeys, challenges and triumphs of these trailblazers, exploring how they are not just challenging norms, but also driving innovation and inclusivity in an industry long dominated by traditional gender roles.
Kabla ni join industry, nilikuwa kwa biashara ingine. But nilikuwa tu napenda, but sikuwa nimepata chance. But sasa one of my friend akanimotivate. Akaniambia beauty industry ni mzuri na naweza join.
Ni motivate nayo. Nikiwa high school nilikuwa natembea tao. Brother wangu alikuwa anafanya hii kazi. Sasa nikaona venye hii job inaendelea, nikaona si baya vile. So after high school nikaamua kujoin.
Nikianza hii kazi mimi by the way, passion yangu iko hapa. Nikamkam tu kujificha, nione kama itajipa. So by the time nimeendelea kufanya kazi, nikaona by this career I can do it, niko na passion yake. So nikai-embrace, nikaamua si nikuwe optician.
Tangu day one nimekuwa nikipenda hii kazi. So that time nilikuwa high school, nilikuwa naipenda tu lakini sikuwa nafanya. So hata nikimaliza high school nilikuwa tunajua naenda kufanya hii kazi.
Kazi safi, hii kazi nao ukifanya kazi safi, hiyo nao utawin. Umewin. Lazima ukuwe na passion. Hii kazi nayo inataka passion. Hata kama unaipenda, lazima ukuwe na passion.
You know, we also do the work because we also want money. So you can't refer him to a female and you also know the work. So wewe pia utamtengeneza tu. But kuna the way you can converse with him in a good way. So we just balance all clients. In this female industry, there are many challenges as a man. You can find a client who has this attitude, na uko na ile attitude, so lazima ujue kubalance vile utamuongelesha, communication skill yako na understanding skill yako vile converse na mteja. You should know a client is always right. That's what you say in order to survive in this industry. Huwezi tolea mteja makasiriko bado, so lazima utoe kurudisha tena vile anataka.
Inayo hapa ni kujiamini tu. Na uko unapenda hii kazi yako na ujue kuhandle customer vizuri. Natengeneza vizuri hivi. So hata akirudi narudi kwako tu. Ndio? Hata kompe ikiwa juu, customer wako na maintain.
Tamenya utakuwa kwa hii industry unajua ngatu venye utahandle pole pole. Challenge ni mingi, customer atakuja aseme sitaki kutengeneza na yeye ama yeye ni mchafu ama unakaa hivi. But sasa kitu ya kwanza lazima ukuwe msafi. Ukijua zile challenge unaweza pitia kwa industry, lazima kwanza ujaribu ku-avoid. So kitu ya kwanza ni usafi. Hiyo lazima u-maintain. Kitu ya pili, utotoa harufu weird. Unajua wasichana ni wale tu. So hizo lazima ujaribu venye nini. Yes.
Even if customer wana prefer kutengenezwa na men. Sometimes wanatuambianga sijui wasichana wako na attitude, mood zao ni baya. So wana prefer kutengenezwa na mwanaume. Utamtengeneza bila attitude nini?
Sasa hii beauty industry sasa ni for men. For ladies, sasa hiyo kuna challenge. Ladies wataki kutengenezwa na ladies, wanataka men. Yes. Men wanafanyanga kazi safi.
Lady kuoshwa tu ni rare sana watengenezwa na ladies. Pia ladies mnapenda tukiwatengeneza. Sijui mbona mnapenda touch yetu.
Sinaga male clients. Ni few sana, maybe 2 3. Na wakikuja mimi niko na wasichana na waitianga juu watakanga kutengenezwa na sisi vijana. Watakanga ladies ndio wakifanywa massage and I enjoy.
You know, we also do the work because we also want money. So you can't refer him to a female and you also know the work. So wewe pia utamtengeneza tu. But kuna the way you can converse with him in a good way. So we just balance all clients.
Kuna customer wengi wanaume. So hata mwenye utapata utamhandle tu vizuri. Ndio unaona mwanaume tena anahitaji nguvu ya mwanaume kali pedicure hivi. Ndio I enjoy the service.
It depends, but we do usually go for house calls. But in case of a situation like that, maybe amepata newborn, but si zote pia, si occasion zote. Unaona sasa nikienda house call, msawa nails pia atasafa. Maybe client anataka kutengeneza nails, mimi natengeneza nywele, so atatengeneza. So we prefer kuja tu kwa salon, because kwa salon pia tuna access everything. Kuna sink.
Ndanga house calls. Hata maharusi naendanga. Niko na team. So nikipata harusi, mimi na timu yangu tunaendanga site.
Kichwa yake na yeye amekuletea zifanani tuanzia. So you must balance them. So ukiona hiyo style haitaingiana vizuri na yeye, unaweza mpea better option. But aki-insist, nimekuambia the client is always right. Unamwekea tu hiyo yake. So unaweza pata amekwambia ama tuweke tu ile yako. Na bisa utoe, uweke hiyo.
Mimi na kitu kwanza mimi nakuanga creative. So kileta chochote ati yote mimi na deliver. Semangi sijui. Yes. ati unapenda art?
Yes, niko na projects kadhaa nakuja like nataka kushutingi. Unaona nikifanya job, when you do work, you usually market yourself. Lazima ujimarket ndo gain more clients. So kuna day nita decide kuwa ni day ya shoot for clients. So wakikuja wajue kwa nafanya shoot na kuna offer maybe ya price na wapeka percentage.
Yes, very soon. Very soon.
Naweza ambia ni hata kama unataka kufanya hii kazi lazima ukuwe unaipenda na kuwe tayari hata changamoto zenye utapitia. Kuwe tayari kunini.
Chenye naweza waambia mtu mwenye anataka kuingia kwa hii biashara. Hii biashara ni mzuri. Yes. Na inalipa. Na mtu yote anataka kujoin anaweza kuja, hata anaweza nitafuta mimi. Yes. Naweza mtrain na nimfunze. Yes. Na tufanye kazi pamoja. Si lazima uende shule, but shule kidogo tu at least ndio ukuwe na idea. Yes. But si lazima uende shule. Hii ni kitu unaweza kuja tu nikufunze na ushike.
Mimi naweza advise wenye wanafanya hii job tu wakuwe patient, more patience. Juu hii kazi, hii career si rahisi. There are many people in this industry and new styles are coming. So maybe wasichoke kulearn by the way. Vitu mingi zinakuja, kuna sister locks zilikuja, hazikuwa. Very many things are coming up. So wakuwe tu patient, learn, na wakuwe tu obedience tu. Na focus. Important sana, focusing.
The stories and insights shared by these trailblazing men in the beauty industry illuminate not only their individual journeys, but also the broader shift towards inclusivity and innovation within the realm of beauty. They are not just challenging norms, they are rewriting the script of masculinity, diversity, and creativity. Beauty knows no bounds. Diversity is our strength, and authenticity is the truest form of beauty.
Y254. Imagine.
Shining in the setting sun like a pearl upon the ocean. Come and feel me, oh feel me.
कुछ कुछ होता है क्या करूँ हाय
पी लूं है पीने का मौसम तेरे संग इश्क तारी है.
Here on Power Talk Show, we handle conversations of current affairs that directly affect you. We do a deep dive on conversations that involve relationships, mental health, finances, and other trending issues. We also share stories of people who have faced adversaries and managed to overcome them.
I'm a person who tried committing suicide 3 times. Yes, before I reached class 7.
Tune in to Power Talk each and every Thursday at 7:10 p.m. and join in the conversation with me, Cheryl Blessing, using the hashtag PowerTalk.
The young generation awakens on Y254, the leading youth TV station in Kenya. We treat you to current affairs, entrepreneurship, health, and human interest conversations.
It's art, it's culture.
Movies, gossip and trends, sports,
Drama.
We bring you a vibe like no other, straight to your living room.
to keep you informed, inspired, entertained, and most of all, refreshed.
We are such a vibe.
Y254. Imagine.
Y254. Imagine. Y254. Imagine.
It's art, it's culture, it's fun, it's attitude. We sample some of the best artistic works locally and beyond our borders. Oh, and don't get me started on the cultural events. Music, dance, fine art, culinary arts, and much, much more. You name it, and we have got you covered. My name is Kevin Kasioki. Please join me each and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on Y254 channel.
What's up, beautiful people? It's your host with the most, Muna Joy.
And your DJ Faro the Finisher. Catch us every Friday from 6 p.m. mpaka saa 2 usiku on Tano Kali Show.
Right here on Kenya's #1 channel, Y254.
Oh yeah, baby Jamboree. I like the way we gone, buddy.
We're going to be giving you hot trending topics that are happening on social media platforms. We will also be interviewing hella talented artists on the show as well.
Kama kawaida, I'll be here to give you the best mixes. Alafu sahau pia kuna top 5 hits of the week.
All right, see you then.
Like I never loved in my life. So love me like you never loved me.
Identity.
You ever get the feeling that you're like two different people?
Love.
I think about you too.
Lust.
Happy birthday.
Friendship.
You guys are my family.
Whoa, what is this?
Escapades that annihilate our innocence. For this is a story of the young and restless.
I love you, Nairobi.
The hungry.
But I want more.
And free-spirited. Sometimes sweet. Sometimes sour. Sugar.
Y254. Imagine. Y254. Imagine.
Very good morning. Karibu back to Y254 TV. This is still Y in the morning. You're still glued in on Wednesday. That is our Wednesday edition. That is Empowerment Cafe and WCW. And you know what we do during Empowerment Cafe. We get to hear inspiring stories. Starting the year for us on a high is Amos Davis. He is a chef, a minister of the gospel, and every other, a lot of other things. Okay, nataka kusema kuna venye vitu zina click kwa mind yangu lakini zikitoka huku nje. Hey, what was on my mind versus what I said were two different things. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Amos Davis has an amazing story to tell us. He is a pastries chef and very many other amazing things zenye atatuambia. But as we always do it, let's welcome Amos to studio. Karibu sana Amos.
Thank you, thank you.
Nimesema vitu mingi sana mpaka zingine zinapotea kwa mdomo yangu. Anyway, you're welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
Tell us, who is Amos?
My name is Amos Davis. I'm a second born to Pastor Peter Omkote.
Hey, PK.
Yes, PK. PK is a challenge, I believe. We know the story.
What time you breathe in, you breathe out. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so being a PK comes with its own challenges here and there. So it's a tough journey, but we have decided to walk to the end with Christ. We're not giving up.
So where does Amos nataka kuuliza vitu mingi but
Alright.
before niulize hizo vitu 1 million, story ya Amos inaanzia wapi?
Story ya Amos inaanza since I was born 1994. That means niko mali hapo hivi.
Post Gen Z.
Yeah, got a Gen Z. Yeah, nimetoka Gen Z.
Yeah.
So getting here, it's by God's glory and God's doing. If it was for human being, I was to be done with at 14 years old, you know. Yeah, so my life was capped at 14 years to start with.
Kuna story hapo. Hebu acha nikae
yeah.
vizuri nisikie. What happened at 14?
So basically, as I said, being a PK again comes with its own measure of challenges. It's like a career path on its own. Again, it's a calling on its own. So our family generally, we've been fought so much in general, but the battle was more intense on me. I remember there's a man of God who said, the reason why the journey was the battle was intense on you is because there's something God wants to accomplish through you for this family. Yeah, so we had demonic attacks and all. My case was worse. I remember, if I can carry forward, my high school life was that person. In a term, I would stay in class for like a week. The rest of the time, I'm home. So I only go to class during exams. Yeah, during exams, that was my... So my fellow students thought I had classes at home, Because again, I never failed exams, despite the fact that in the class 1 week, I still passed exams. So they thought, yo, what are you doing at home? Sit in a class the whole time, but you're failing exams and all. You guy, 1 week only, and you're doing it. It was God. Because I never knew the rest of the time I'm home battling diseases, demonic attacks and all. So from Form 1 to Form 4, that was my life. My dad used to pay school fees for the whole year, but it was like wastage, because 1 week in class, the rest of the time you're home. So that was the cycle. You're home battling demonic disease. I remember we went to all the big hospitals in Nairobi, because people were like telling my dad, you take your son to hospital, why are you not caring? Because they thought he's not caring, but my dad was very, very caring. So we went to all the big hospitals in Nairobi Hospital, Aga Khan, you mentioned them. Did CT scans, all that, but nothing.
There was nothing that was showing?
Nothing.
Like unapelekwa hosi then wakikufanya all the tests hakuna kitu.
There's nothing. But your body speaks otherwise, because you look malnourished, you're not growing.
How are you feeling? Ulikuwa unafeel aje?
I think it was cool. I was just calm, because again, what more could I do? Yeah, so we did all that, but there was nothing. I remember in our house, we used to joke. It's like we had a second chemist at home. All sorts of drugs, capsules. Yeah, all of them. So I think my body got accustomed to the point like I could not sleep at night because of the drugs. They used to keep me awake. Because again, the night time was the night for the wars and the battles, It used to get intense at night. So yeah, we had all those drugs just for the sake of my dad not being told you're not caring for your son and all, because people used to think maybe I had injury or something. Some thought I had convulsions or something, which was not the case. This was
so
more
what
spiritual.
was happening to your body during that time?
You get demonic attacks at night, like things are choking you and all. So it's an intense and fierce battle, where it's either you live or you live, But the only option was to live, L-I-V-E.
Kuishi ya maisha.
Yes, not the other living. So that was the journey for the 4.5 years of battles and all that. We had prayers where I think if there was oil problem, I had so much oil poured on my head.
I understand as a pastor's kid where
different pastors,
unasikia unaombewa tu.
Yeah. Kidogo nilikuwa jambia ile scripture ya the head of Aaron, the oil is flowing back down your beard. I only didn't have a beard, but there's a lot of oil.
I can imagine.
A lot of oil, yeah. But fast forward, God did it. We got delivered, and here we are, past 14.
Wow. Wow.
Past 14 years.
I know you've told us how that that period was for you, emotionally and psychologically. What were you going through during that season?
Emotionally, it was traumatizing, because again, you realize you come to the discovery of these things are being done with someone you know. Obviously, physically, as a teenager in high school, you feel a bit, you're off the grid, because you cannot do things all the other people are doing. You can imagine 24/7 you're indoors, you can't go out, because you never know what's going to happen. You're just indoors, you can't play with other kids as a normal kid and all. So physically, was challenging. Emotionally, yeah, traumatizing. But you had to keep the grit, you know. I got to a point where I think, you ever got to a point where you ask yourself, why does your dad have to be a pastor? Like, isn't there anything else they can do?
Vitu zote zenye uliamua kufanya mzae.
Nikaamua kuwa pasi. Yeah. So yeah, in those battles and all, because he himself also was facing his own personal battles from the church and all, you know. So it got to a level where I was like, God, maybe I think this journey is too intense. I can just be a faithful mshirika church, anything to do with ministry, you know. I used to play keys, sing and all. So tulikuwa negotiate na God. Now I'll be faithful. Aspect of play keys, writing music and all, I'll be faithful. But this other thing of sharing the word, you know, I don't want that. Because you can see the same people your dad is sharing the word with, preaching to, the same people fighting him.
There's nothing as bad as that. The same people that your parents are laboring for are the very same people that keep attacking them.
Yeah, sure.
And it's bad.
Yeah, so as a kid, it's, as I said, traumatizing. Because you get to a point where people are asking you, Connie, the prayers your dad pray, they're not working for you.
Guy.
You see him casting demons out of other people, but what about you? Ama God is not hearing you. They say, oh, Ama is servicing his altars because in Kama tumianga to flani, so now they're back to haunt him and all. You're not even 14, you are 13 going onwards. So that's the kind of stories you're hearing, like, it's a lot to handle. But you have no choice, you have no option, you have to keep on fighting. Yeah, and God has been faithful.
How did that shape your mindset or rather mentality towards church?
I think for me, it got to a point where I had to realize Christianity, it's my relationship with Christ is personal first, and then it goes out there. So I cannot deter from the path of Christianity just because I'm facing these challenges. It had to shape me earlier, at a very early stage. Like whatever you're going through, it's just something to get you to another level. Like you didn't even know your full capacity if you don't go through a challenge. So it was a moment of exposure to know at a young age, like, what do I have inside me? What do I carry? Obviously, as a pastor's kid, tumesoma scripture, you know the whole Bible. We used to joke even when we had guest preachers in church, ukianza kusoma scripture, you know the sermon, you know.
Yeah.
You know the sermon. So I used to know scriptures. So it was that moment of, it's either the scripture comes alive or it just becomes another novel. So for me, it was a moment of revealing the Christ in me. So when I say greater is he that is in me, I know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not just a story.
Yeah. So at what point did the breakthrough come in, like, you know, up until Form 4? At what point did all this, like maybe ugonjwa and everything, like at what point did it stop?
So that one, I would base it on. So actually, it got to a point where I felt my parents were fighting too much for me. They were fighting too much for me. My dad, my mom, my mom, that woman has stood with me in prayer and all. I remember the worst case scenario, there was a night, our dad was out for ministry in Rwanda. So we were with mom. That was the worst night. That was a night of it's either it works or it doesn't work, you know. It's either you go or you leave. And that woman stood in prayer for like 3 hours straight, past midnight, praying for the son. I remember she got to a point of desperation where she was telling God, she was asking God, so why did you give me this son that I may see him suffer? Just take him. I know he died so that I don't have to see him go through this anguish.
Wow.
So this is a story I was being told because when you're in that moment, there's like your conscience is gone. So that night, after everything happened, the next day I was being given a story. Like I got to a point where my body looked so lifeless. They thought I was done with.
You had gone.
I'd gone.
Where?
But now I remember her saying that from her faint voice when I was beginning to regain consciousnness. It's like a person who was drowning now, you're beginning to regain your consciousness. And that hit me hard.
Yeah, see, trust this story for movies. Like those stories that I was almost dying and then as I was going, I heard a voice calling me back.
So that hit me hard. Like, I knew my mom was at that point where she's like, no, it's hurting her more than it's hurting me. So it got to a point where I told God, I mean, this thing has to end because I feel it for my parents as well. They're your servants, they're not my servants. So you take away the shame because they've been put to shame. Like people who they are preaching to, they're back to whip their backs and stab them and all. My God, you've had it all. And I was like, they have been faithful to you. In spite of all of this, they haven't given up. They haven't tried any dubious ways, like people have been telling them, oh, tunajua mtu anaomba mali, you know. But they've been steadfast in the faith. So like, God, if not for me, for them, please do it. And at the back of my head, I said, I think I'm going to get to a point where I need to start not faking it as per se, but acting like I'm well. It's now exercising the word. Even though you are in that moment of pain and all, you say, I am whole, I am healed. So that's where it began. As the Bible says, let the weak say I'm strong and all. So that became a scripture. And then again, there's a scripture, I think, in Acts that says he is able to do exceedingly abundantly above. So I had to shape my mind as well, like, what am I thinking? What am I thinking? So even though I am in this moment, in this scenario, that does not take over my mind. I have to think of, I am healed and all that. So at Form 3, I think Form 3, that's where I could say I began getting like a normal life as a normal teenager in high school. No more demonic attacks and all that. But still there were a few health challenges here and there. Sometimes I could conceal them so that my mom and dad don't have to feel like, it's back again and all. So yeah, those ones I could just conceal them and know how to deal with them here and there. Sometimes my mom will look at me, are you okay? Are you okay? I'll be like, I'm fine. But she knows I'm not fine. But yeah, from 3 second term there, at least I was fully, I could stay in class and say, I have been in school. I have used my school fees.
Had to leave my school fees in vain now.
In vain, yeah, sure. Yeah, so from 3 onwards to Form 4, it was a smooth journey, as opposed to Form 1 to Form 3 first term.
So, where did the passion for being a chef came from?
This thing, I think from a young age, our mom multiplied responsibilities, you know, so we knew how to cook from a very young age. So me, I knew I have something to do with food, because sometimes I could walk around, see these fancy restaurants, and then on TV see people doing fancy things, you know, chefs and all, and I'm like, looks interesting. So me, I knew this is something I'd want to get in. Even though my mom thought this one would be a doctor.
Dr. Wachakula.
Disappointment. Yeah, so I think before even Form 4, my mom could ask me and my dad, what do you want to do after? I'm like, I want to do something to do with cooking. Obviously, I'm artistic, so for me, food is also art and all, because there's a whole process. So I knew this is something I want to do from another angle. Yeah, so I had an interest in it from a very tender age. Because our mom taught us how to cook tukiwa tu wadogo. So I remember our meals for school, we used to cook for ourselves. My mom never used to cook for us. Alikuwa anatuambia, si mnajua kupika, the food is there, so do your thing. So I learned to experiment with ingredients and all, and yeah, here we are.
Amazing, amazing. So what are you most passionate about when it comes to... Okay, I do not know how being a chef works, so I don't know. Najua nasikianga kuna categories. Maybe you'll tell us about that. Because maybe nikianza kuongea na jaibisha. And because I do not want to kujaibisha.
Okay.
Let me stick to what I know how to do best, talk. So what are the categories when it comes to being a chef?
So in being a chef in culinary, there are stages, as you said, there are levels. It's like a brigade in an army. They call it a kitchen brigade. So from the least person to the top person, there's like 9 in-betweens. Like there's 9 positions in betweens. So imagine going through all the ranks to get to that 9th position.
So like, ukikuwa chef au kuitu chef?
No.
Like kuko na stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
stages.
9!
Stages.
So how long does it take for you to get to the 9th stage?
As I'd say, it depends with you as a person, like your vision and how aggressive you are in the industry. Obviously aggressive in a good way, not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Because again, there are people you get in the industry who look like they're the gatekeepers in quotes.
Oh yeah.
So I remember when I started off, someone told me, you know, it's going to take you 10 years to make anything meaningful out of these. And in my head I was like, what do you mean 10 years?
10 years.
10 years. I must be some sort of a twat to take 10 years to make anything meaningful out of these. So I just smiled it off. But they were serious, like, have taken 12, 13 years, so you're going to take at most.
So they thought their journey would be your
and they're telling
journey.
you they've taken 13 years. When you look at their position, it's like, man, it's just still here. So it's like, I have God. I know I'm here. And again, I know the vision I'm building towards, so it's not going to take me 10 years to get there. Obviously, with God, all things are possible. So, yeah, and then when you go with scriptures, you have the Holy Ghost, you have an advantage. So remembering you're above and above only. So I said, no, it's not going to take me 10 years. So yeah, I began off in, I think, 2016. 2016 is when I began my internship. That was at Kempinski. They had this program where they were taking people fresh from campus. You're very green, nothing. The only thing you have is your first internship. So I had my first internship at Sarova and then now Kempinski. Back then, it's when Kempinski was just opening. So it was the first cohort. So I went through the apprenticeship. It was intense here. And then afterwards, they gave me a job. From that, yeah. The funny thing is, if I could just speak in general, like all the places I've worked for, all the jobs I've been at, I've never applied for any job. It's ever referrals or someone mentioned my name and all. All the jobs I've ever applied for personally, I got feedback like, you're too overqualified, you're looking for someone with
we're looking for a junior chef.
Qualifications and all. So that is what things I've applied for. But all these other things to where I am right now, I've never applied. It's just a referral, someone mentioning my name, and yeah. So I began officially in 2017, Kempinski, that junior position. But as much as it was a junior position, I was still given responsibilities of a person in management. I was running a section, whole kitchen. So I have to know how to do my orders, my costing and all. That very junior position, very green again. So initially I was like, no, why are you giving me this thing yet? I'm just starting off. This should be 4. You know that mentality you have, like, acres in Amshara Patani, so.
I do.
This should not be my work. But to cooperate with instruction and all. But I was being shaped, because whatever that chef saw, my executive chef then, I hadn't seen it. I remember I used to struggle with this title, chef, being called chef. I was like, no, just call me Amos and all. So I remember there was one time he came and called me chef. And I looked like I'm not accepting the title. And he got very mad. He told me, if you're not a chef, get out of my kitchen. I call you chef because I know you're qualified. And he asked me, how many people do you hear me calling chef? And I was like, okay, not so many people. So I knew there was something. So I began to embrace that on the Kukubali title and all. So I worked at Kempinski for a season to around 2021, 2020 there, when COVID was hitting. So during that season, God was telling me it's time to leave. But no, I didn't know how. So I was telling God, if it's time to leave, then make me leave, you know. Because now COVID has hit, there's redundancy. So my prayer was, God, if it's time to leave, then let me live with this redundancy. Because there's people being laid off because there's no work. It's COVID. The hospitality is closing down. And then God told me, you cannot be my son and then you'll be rendered redundant. You're going to leave because I told you to leave, so you will resign. So yeah, redundancy comes, people are laid off and all. I'm not on the list. It happened twice. So the first list I wasn't there, second list I wasn't there. So yeah, I'm still at work. Still God is saying, you have to leave.
So wait, what happened twice? I missed something.
Redundancy.
Okay.
Because now COVID has hit.
So
there's no work.
They were laying off people.
Yeah, hospitality. I think hospitality was the most hit with COVID and all.
Because people are not going to eat.
Yeah, so the companies have to downsize and all.
Yeah.
So it happened twice.
You were in the list?
I wasn't there.
You weren't?
Not the first one, not the second one. I wasn't there. Because my prayer was, God, see, you want me to leave, so let me be Basini talking redundancy. And God said, you cannot be my son and be rendered redundant. It doesn't work like that. So you will leave because I have asked you to leave. You will resign.
Wow.
You know, so redundancy comes, people go, they're laid off, and then me, a month later, I'm resigning.
Wow.
I was given a lecture.
How was that for you? How was that season for you?
I was peaceful because I wasn't even worried, because people were worried. They're like, wow, what's going to happen? There's no income and all, we have families and all. And they look at me and they're like, sure, do you even worry about anything? I'm like, I have Christ, so why should I worry? He knows my journey. So COVID is here. People have been laid off. And then 1 month later, I hand in my resignation. And so my executive chef then is like, I think something is wrong with you. So for 3 days straight, he used to call me for meetings, 3 hours each, just to get to understand how does my mind work, like what's wrong with me. He cannot fathom that.
How are you? Why
Where
are
are you
you
going?
resigning it, everyone?
He's asking you, why
You have not been laid off.
Yeah, where are you going? There's no work. People have closed. Where are you going? Are you okay? He even told me, if you want, take a week off and then just go and think about it. I think you're too tired.
Yeah, you'll come back.
So he called people, tell them, try to talk to this young man because I think he's losing it. You know, he's losing it. It wasn't the case. I'm just following instructions and all. So to correct something, I think when we began off, you said I'm a pastry chef, but I'm not a pastry chef as per se. I'm a chef because I've taken time to.
I think, maybe I assume you're a pastry chef because I've eaten your cakes.
I know.
So that's where the notion that you're a pastry chef came from.
But how I have placed myself is being able to work in any
Okay,
aspect
so you are an
of-
all-round. You're not
Yeah.
just a pastry chef.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, it came with its own challenges because it's a sacrifice of time. You have to put in a lot of. It's not easy because again, as I said, it's a sacrifice because pastry and all these other things, they're two totally different things. This one is a science, the other one is a philosophy. So merging the two, you have to really put in
So to share
some
science
work.
la philosophy
Yeah.
kwa chef, kwa culinary skills. Okay.
Because when it comes to pastry,
Uh-huh.
you have to use the recipes and all, and you have to know the process. If you miss a step, you have to redo it because you've lost it all. On the other hand, the hot kitchen and all, it's a philosophy because nobody can really teach you how to cook. It's how you internalize and like how you internalize the ingredients, how you want to play around with it. At the same time, you have to have the knowledge of what behaves like what to temperatures or when you pair with a certain ingredient. So yeah, it's both science and philosophy.
Okay.
Both of them.
So back to the story.
So as I was resigning, there was a chef who came. It's a lady. I had to give her flowers. The lady was called Chef Susan. She was a pastry chef. So she had just flown in, I think, from from UAE. She had a vast of experience in pastry. She had worked for all these 5-star hotels and all. So at that time, the owner had brought her to do some improvements for the pastry section before the business picks up. So when she came, I saw what she was doing. And I was like, yeah, this is something I've looked forward to. So I didn't know how to approach her to teach me. So I said...
And that time you're leaving.
Yeah, that time I'm
You've already
leaving.
given a resignation notice.
Still, I haven't given the notice yet.
But you're...
But it's in mind, it's in the process.
Okay.
So I saw her in her work and was like, this is something I'm going to tap in. And again, this lady was very strict. You know, those strict people where you say this is a no-nonsense person. She doesn't take anything as a joke. So I didn't know how to approach her because one thing I've noticed about me is I don't know how to start conversations with new people. I don't know how to do that. So I said, yeah, God, you'll make a way. If you want me to do this, we're going to do it. And then it happened, then my executive chef knew I had a hand in pastry before going to hot kitchen and all. So they had a shortage of staff in pastry because they have laid off people. So they asked, who can fill in this gap? They said, Amos. So I went and met the lady.
So your prayer has been answered.
Indirectly. Obviously, we had our wrangles here and there. But yeah, stuff. And then at that time, it was still the same season. They were planning to open Nairobi Street Kitchen. So she was brought in because Nairobi Street Kitchen and Kempinski, they are owned by the same company. So the owners had brought her to improve the menus at Kempinski. At the same time, she was in charge of Nairobi Street Kitchen. So one day out of the blue, she asked me, do you want to work with me? I didn't waste time. I said, yes. Because me, I want the skill. I want to learn. Because this is something I knew if I go back to school, it will cost me a lot of money to just get that skill. So I said, yeah, I'm in. Then she told me, we are in COVID season, so the pay is not going to be that good. It's going to be worse than Kempinski. I said, no, I don't mind. Because I want the skill.
It is an accent brand.
Yeah. So yeah, I resigned at Kempinski, and then I joined her at Nairobi Street Kitchen. So this is how it worked. Logically, it doesn't make sense because at that time at Kempinski, we are getting half pay, 50%, because it's no work. Then we have been downsized. We got to NSK, whatever they tell me they're going to start with is half of the 50%, you know. So logically, if you do a calculation, you're like, nah, how, in your normal mind, how do you do that? By the instructions. I remember I had to lie to my parents and tell them, I think this is the first time they're hearing the story. So when I was resigning, they asked me, are you going for a better pay? I say, yeah, double. Because I don't want another lecture.
When you don't enjoy, you're getting half of half.
Half of half. Something I've realized is sometimes instructions are personal when you get them from God. Because sometimes your spouse can also speak you out of the instructions because they don't see the logic in it, you know. Because I knew if I tell them, hey, I'm going for half of the half, wow, that would be a lecture that would never end. I said, yeah, I'm going for double. And they're like, yeah, congratulations. I said, thank you. But God was gracious in that season. There was no struggle. Everything worked out smoothly and seamlessly. So I got to NSK. She hones my skills, like whatever I knew, she sharpens it. And yeah, she sharpens it and all. So I stayed at NSK for 6 months. And then I traveled to Qatar. So after the 6 months, I got...
So you have resigned this other side.
Yeah.
Kambiwa uko sawa, your mind is not okay.
Yeah.
You went at NSK. So after...
And even after I leave, the chef tells me, you know, this place is open. When you come back to your senses, please call me.
Interesting. Wow.
Please call me. So yeah, I leave. I go to NSK. So I'm getting half of half. Still it's COVID. And then, and now we go to, and the COVID gets intense to a point where NSK cannot open as they had planned. So that half of the half goes again to half. Yes. Because now they're not in business.
So it's quarter now.
Because now they're not in business. So if that half, I used to get half, now back to half, it's quarter. Obviously, you still have, you're getting deductions like NSSF, NHF, so...
carry and all that.
You're here. So the moment of like, yo, are you sure you made the right decision, you know? Because at times the logic kicks in, and they're like, no, maybe I didn't hear it rightly, I didn't hear it correctly. You start asking God, kwani, what kind of God are you? Unanitoa hapo nilitapa.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I stayed at NSK for 6 months, because the word was 6 months. This is after I have grasped whatever I need to grasp, and I'm very confident now I've gotten the skill. Because now the lady, the executive pastry chef, she stayed for like 5 months and then left again.
Okay.
So when she left, I was in charge of the pastry section in NSK and all. So after 6 months, the word was, I'm going to stay at NSK for 6 months. So after 6 months, I get an email saying, we have received your documentation for such and such position of at hotel in Grand Hyatt. So at first, I am like, this is scam, because I haven't applied for anything.
Yeah.
But again, I go through the email, I look at the email, I go to their website, it's legit. I do a check on the company and all. It's legit. So I'm like, how did they get my details? I didn't apply. And then after I get that email, I get a call from a certain lady that we had initially worked together. She tells me, yeah, I sent in a word for you. I had your CV, so I sent your CV somewhere. And I'm like, okay, I already got the offer. So I wasn't expecting, but I already got the offer. So yeah, I go through the process and all, and yeah, I leave Kenya for Qatar. I go work for one of the largest chain hotels.
So during the 2020, after COVID, that was during the COVID?
COVID was not over yet.
Okay.
We were still in the
season of COVID. It was just,
yeah,
I remember.
Subside kidogo.
Yeah, so you went to Qatar.
I went to Qatar.
Okay.
Worked for one of the largest hotel chains on currently. It's called Grand Hyatt. But still, before I flew to Qatar, I had a contention. Because now whatever they were paying me was the initial amount I used to get at Kempinski. So I'm like, it doesn't make sense, because traveling outside the country for this much, it doesn't add up. The only thing in advantageous is that I'm not paying taxes. So in a moment I was thinking, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. But again, God was speaking, saying, this is just a layover. You're going to stay in this place again for 6 months. So I had that struggle and battle. Again, my parents were asking me, is it better? I said, yeah, double. Which double?
All the time, ukiulizwa, it's double.
Yeah, because I don't want questions of, well, how are you thinking and all, you know.
Sometimes people can talk to you mpaka you question what you had from God, by the way. Hey, uko sure? Amos ulisikia?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, we're back to Kenya.
So I remember the last day before I traveled, we were on high school missions, somewhere in, I can't call the school, but we were in high school missions. And then we were with Pastor one of Pastor William and Pastor T. They're both my pastors. So I had spoken to Pastor William initially, told him about it. So when we were in that high school mission, he gave word to Pastor T. And then we were having having a conversation with Pastor T. So he's telling me, you know, when you go, I see America's going to open and all. In my head, I'm like, which America? I'm like, Passy, do you even know how hard it is to get there in my career? Like the requirements and all. But yeah, I took the word. So we prayed and all. I spoke words of prophecy and all. So I go to Qatar. And truth to the word, 6 months down the line, I'm leaving to the US.
Wow.
And this is the catch. Had I not gone to Qatar, even if I got the opportunity to go to the US, I would not go. Because back then in Kenya, the embassy was closed.
Oh, yeah.
They're not giving visas because it was the COVID season and all.
Yeah.
So they had closed. So it was purposeful for me to be in Qatar so I could go to the embassy in Qatar for the US thingy. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
So 6 months down the line, I fly to the US, again, working for one of the most pristine private clubs, members only in the US. It's all been God all through, so.
Yeah.
I think the thing I had in mind when I began the career was I'm going to work for the best, and that has been it. That has been it to this far.
So at what point did you come back to Kenya?
I came back to Kenya in, I think, 2023 August. Because again, in that period, there were things happening that I felt I need to come back. Because my mom was a bit ill, and it was getting serious, kidogo, so I was worried. And at the same time, my season to be there for that season was over, because the way this club works, it's seasons. There is the summer and winter and all, so during winter, the members go elsewhere and all. So when the season was over, I had to come back for my holiday. I didn't want to extend to other areas. So I had to come back, just see my mom and all. So I came back in 2023 August. I've just been here trying to buy time and do other things.
So when you came back, how was life resettling? Remember, umetoka huko kambiwa, huko sawa. So it's been like a year or something down the line, a couple of months since you resigned.
Yeah.
So when you've come back, you've come back to start from where?
So funny thing about, okay, not funny, the way I think I have tuned myself. You see, even with this all travel, I didn't have that excitement people would have. Yeah, I'm going to Qatar, I'm going to yes. No. I mean, it was like, it's just another normal thing, you know. So even coming back, it was just another normal thing. Like life has to go on and all. Because all through, I had been preparing for something. Because I believe when you get into something, you have to have the end game. Like what ultimately you want to achieve. So for me in the career, I knew what I wanted to build ultimately. It's not just being employed and all. I take employment as a place where you get knowledge at the same time you're being paid. It's practical ability. So I've taken time to build knowledge here, develop skill and all. At the back of my mind, I knew what I wanted to build out of it. Yeah, so when I came back, I had a company in mind that we were building on with some friends previously. But they weren't putting in the effort. So along the way, they pulled out. So I remained alone. So I said, if this vision is for me, then I'm going to flow with it. At the end of the day, it's God who knows where I'm going. So I came back in 2023, August, and I registered the company, and it's born. So what I wanted to do was desserts and develop stuff that is not even common in the industry, especially in our Kenyan market. In our Kenyan market. Because when you talk about desserts and all, people think about sugar and all. I'm a sweet tooth.
Yeah,
I think.
I'm thinking of the sugar. And
yeah, personally, I'm a sweet tooth. But I don't like taking something that will make me feel like I'm sugar jolted, you know, like you're having sugar rushes and whatever. I want something that is mild. There's not too much sugar. I believe sweet doesn't have to be sugary, you know. So I had taken time to develop those recipes and whatever, because along the way I did other courses just to hone my skill as well, like product development, did something with nutrition, just to get to understand the nutritional aspect of stuff. So don't just make things for the sake of making it. Because again, I'm concerned about people going to buy because I want them to stay longer so they can buy more. As opposed to give someone something that's going to harm them and then they're spending money on medications and all. Yeah, there's a say I had recently, like, it's either you make food your medicine or you make medicine your food. Understand?
Interesting.
Because what you eat can make you sick, and what you eat can also champion your health. So you just have to strike the balance. So yeah, August 2023, Truthful Secrets is born. Yeah, that's the name of my company, Truthful Secrets.
Sorry?
Truthful Secrets.
Truthful Secrets.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
That is 2023 August.
Where does the inspiration for the name come from?
As I said, I'm a sweet tooth. So I was like, whatever I'm doing is not too common. Many people are struggling to understand, like, how do you do it?
Si tunapenda sukari na tujali
You know.
kwenye kama inatuharibu.
How do you do it? So yeah, that's when the name came in. Like, it's something truthful, but there's a secret, because it's only a secret your tooth can tell if you get it. So
All right, interesting.
yeah, so we kick off in 2013. But in 2013, all I used to do was desserts and cakes and a lot of stuff in the dessert aspect. So I had ideas. I had ideas of doing chocolate spreads and all, because I had the recipes. But now I was in a moment of, I didn't know how to start it, because there was just a lot to do. Yes, I have the recipes, but I need to figure out the branding of the product, how I'm going to package and all. So the whole season of 2023, I just did desserts here and there for some people, some weddings here and there. And then in 2024, so that's when officially we kicked out with the chocolate spreads. Because now how we are positioning ourselves is we are into manufacturing, and at the same time we are into restaurants.
Okay.
So the manufacturing part, we're going to do stuff like chocolate spreads, ice creams and all. So in 2024, Kempinski took me back. And then I met a lady, and I liked how aggressive she was. She was training. So in the midst of conversations, we found ourselves sharing what we want to do. So I shared what I was doing. And she shared random ideas, and I was like, I think this could work for me. So yeah, I brought her on board, and she brought her aggressiveness on board as well in the business. So she took up all the administrative work and all. So me, as I was still thinking how I'm going to brand the product, she had ideas like how to brand, where to get the jars and all. I had no idea where to get the jars. I was still doing research online and all. I was still thinking on how the label is going to look. As I was still thinking, she comes up with something. She asked me, so what do you think of this? I'm like, wow, I think this is the push I needed. Yeah. So she comes on board. And yeah, officially the spread is born. We do our first batch, share it with people we know for them to try. So again, we could know if our product is authentic. So we do a few product tests here and there just to find out where we are, if we have a product for the market and all. And the feedback is amazing, 100% amazing. So we know, yeah, we have a product. So the whole of this 2024, basically what we've been doing is like a feasibility study of the product to know the reception, what people think about it, and if they have seen anything of the sort anywhere. Because we don't want to do something that is, So the feedback we've got is, this is unique because we haven't seen such. And that was a plus. We're like, yeah, we have a product. And again, the feedback of it's healthy, no artificial preservatives and all, it's another advantage for us. So we've been developing that to this time. We are working on putting up a proper premise where we can do production as well as other desserts and all. So at least now we are confident to have a product for the market.
Amazing. Nasikia kuna watu hapa kwa masikio yangu wananiongelesha, wananiambia haijafika saa ya kupika. Saa ya kupika imefika, guys, msijali. Very in a short while Amos atatuambia whatever he has for us on top of this table. But Amos, tell me, what are some of the lessons, even as we get to you telling us what you want to prepare for us today? What are some of the lessons you've carried along throughout your career, your life, your journey in ministry, in career, and just as a person?
I think for me, lesson number one is you can never really do anything without God. Because at the end of the day, God is the author of everything. Even in your career, He has taught me, like, there's nothing we can do that either He hasn't been that thing or doesn't have an essence in Him. Like for me as a chef, I know He is the bread of life. Again, the word says, man shall not live on bread alone, but, you know. For someone who wants to get into medic, wants to be a doctor, they have to understand that God is the healer. The Bible says He's the chief physician and all. So every career, I believe, has an essence in Christ. So if I have to succeed at this, I have to recognize and acknowledge that I cannot do it on my own. I depend on Him. And again, as a Christian, I believe in Christ and all. As we say, greater is he that is in me. I believe that has to be shown out of the impact you create in people's lives by what you do. I think there's something that busted my mind. There's something God has taught me out of scripture. There's this scripture you say, what do we say it? Like the works of my hands are blessed, you know. So most of the time when people quote that scripture, they refer to you getting resources out of what you do, you get money. For me, it's different. Because God has taught me, if the only thing I'm going to get out of the works of my hand is resources and money, I have failed. So what he has taught me is, if at all I live in you, and then Paul says, it's no longer I who lives, but Christ who lives in me. So it means, even the works of my hands, he has to glorify in them. So it is more of the impact, whatever the works of your hands do, has in the lives of people, than just getting resources. And because in this career, I've seen God do things that I never imagined he'll do. Like I've seen people come tell me, I came here the other day, and then we had a conversation. I had a meal that we prepared, and then either I was depressed and now I don't have depression. Either I had a case where there was a lady with diabetes, and she came, we had a talk. She was told not to take desserts and all because of the sugar and whatever. But that day she said, I feel like just taking a dessert and all. Ice cream specifically. I served her ice cream and all. But every time I'm doing this, in my heart it picks to intercede for these people. To intercede for these people. Because I believe if someone is going to come with an issue, like come to me as a believer and say, I'm depressed, and they live the same way they came, there's an error. So for me, God has taught me, like, I can use this work of your hands to deliver people from different scenarios and deliver healings and all. So lesson number one for me is God at the center of it all. Number two, you have to be hungry again for knowledge. You have to be hungry for knowledge. I have, I don't know how to call it, but the way I work when I get into new spaces, I'll tend to hold back. So me, I believe, career-wise, it's like a battlefield, you know. In your career, it's a battlefield, because everybody else wants a promotion. So what's going to give you an edge? So every time I go to a new place, I take time first to learn everything everybody knows before they know what I know. Because for me, it's an added advantage. I take it as you do not expose your weapons to your opponent before knowing what your opponent has. So that's just how I've placed myself. So I have to know everything all of you know before you know what I know.
Okay.
So it's an advantage for me.
Amazing. So what do you have for us here?
So today, what we're going to do, we're just going to...
Kuna watu tunangojea kwa hamu na gamu.
Okay. So I'm just going to showcase like how we can use these chocolate spreads that we make in different ways. Some people think it's only on bread and all, but no, it's very diverse. You can use it in a smoothie, you can use it in an ice cream, whatever.
Okay.
So today we're gonna make a smoothie with these, which is our products. Yeah. And then we'll get your feedback, what you think.
Watu wako huku wanashinda wakiongea kwa masikio yangu wanasema hampiki tuonje, hampiki tuonje.
Yes, so today
tunapika kama tunafanya nini Amos?
Now we make a smoothie first. I also have some goodies for you. This one
Yay!
later.
Okay.
But now first we can do the smoothie.
Okay.
And
So we are making a smoothie.
Yes.
The guys in studio ndo wata sample. Sorry, the rest mtakula tu hapo kwa screen.
Yep, so for this smoothie, all you're gonna do, I have some berries over here. Fresh berries again. I use everything fresh from the farm.
Okay.
So some berries with mint leaves.
Okay.
And just grab a spoon. So these are strawberries. Obviously cleaned everything because I knew I would get a...
Sorry?
I cleaned everything prior.
Okay.
Just preparing, so.
Of course, the perks of being a chef.
Yeah. So.
Mtashiba wenye mnauliza kama mnashiba, mtashiba. Lakini hizi vitu pia si za kushiba.
Si za kushiba.
Ni kuonja ufry.
Fry. Yes, so those are strawberries. I have plain yogurt over here.
Okay.
Do the plain yogurts. Okay.
Your favorite part has come.
And then, okay, let me just keep the spoon inside here. So currently we have 3 flavors. You have orange avocado, we have beetroot, and you have tree tomato, tamarillo. So all these are made from fresh produce, like fresh beetroots, fresh tree tomatoes, and orange. Again, as I said, we are considering that aspect of health. Everything I do, we consider health and nutrition.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm a sweet tooth, so I don't like eating raw beetroot. So I thought, why not develop something that is more palatable to my palate? So we're gonna use the beetroot chocolate spread for this smoothie. Just take a scoop, put it over there. Yes. Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
And then nimejipanga.
Hey!
I also have.
You came ready.
This is milk, so I just needed to keep it at a certain temperature. So this is like
like a thermos.
A thermos that keeps it chilled and all. So some milk over there. Yes.
Mautamu, saa yangu imefika. Saa ya mautamu, guys.
And just gonna blend it. I think, yeah. Yes.
When you mnatujoin, or rather those that have been following the conversation, we have been with Amos, and we are making a smoothie.
Yes. And that's done.
All right. Tunatengeneza smoothie mautamu. I am so excited. Hey.
Yes. So yeah, it's good to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am tasting for you all.
Okay.
This is nice. This is nice.
Give us the feedback.
Not hatujaekewa sukari. And for a sweet tooth like me, it is nice. Na haina added sugar. It is just berries, the spread. Yes, hata nimeambiwa na Benja, my director, it is matching with my outfit. Guys, this is good. Mimi mwenye napenda sukari, I can still feel the sugar, but it's not added sugar.
Added sugar. Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah. So as I said, we.
Nili make sure sija fast. Wala niambia, I hope sija break fast. Nili make sure I have not fasted. We are starting fasting on Saturday.
Next week.
This is good, Amos.
Thank you.
This is amazing.
Thank you.
I have tried the orange avocado, the spread, but I didn't know the beetroot was equally good.
Yeah, there's beetroot. Everything is good. There's tree tomato. So yeah, our selection of ingredients are we are very particular with what ingredients we use, because again, the health aspect. So when you go to the market, we take time to evaluate the quality of the produce and all, as well as the kind of chocolates we use. It's chocolate that is rich in what do you call it? Cocoa butter.
Okay.
If you do a research on cocoa butter, it's good for your heart. It aids in your circulation and all, so it's everything health.
Amazing.
Encompassed in there.
Amazing. Ooh, okay. All right. Kabla nianze kuambiwa masaa imeenda. Where do you as a businessman now? You are a businessman. I mean,
yeah.
As a businessman, and what do you what's your trajectory for the coming years in career?
For the coming years, as I said, right now we are planning on getting fully into it, like getting our feet into it. Get to go the manufacturing way for the spreads, ice creams and all of that stuff, and then is the restaurant aspect. Again, we are crafting special dining experiences for people. At the same time, I've been doing some consultations for some businesses that reached out to either they want to upgrade their menus, they have an issue with costings and all. So I've been doing that as well. At the same time, for the period of time that we're still around, the other thing we're doing is we're trying to do, like, get our culinary industry known globally. Because we are blessed, like we have all the best ingredients as opposed to what I've seen outside there. But now it is not fully utilized. So what we're doing is partnering with some filmmakers and all, with the best chefs we have around to put out like a film, like speaking about our culture in culinary and all, showcase our food and all. What I urge our Kenyans is we should be open again to elevate our dishes. We shouldn't stick to the tradition. The tradition. I believe there's a way we can do our traditional ugali and make it global. Like an American can eat it and be like, yeah, I ate Kenyan ugali, but it's something elevated. So it should not be so constricted to what you know as traditional. Because that's what has happened globally. If you go to France or England, there are dishes that they prepare them traditionally on certain occasions. But same dishes have been elevated to a global standard, like anybody else can relate with it. So that's what we're trying to do. At the same time, there are people I'm mentoring who reached out and be like, yeah, this is a hard one. It's a big one, like I'm a mentor now. Or I never saw that coming, but yeah, it's happening. So we're on a journey of working together. So when it comes to the business aspect, we want to go the manufacturing and the restaurant way. So we see ourselves going with the spreads international, because I've had a couple of international requests and all. So we're working our way around how to go that. But first, we want to just get everything in order before we kickstart that.
All right. Finally, before Nikwambeo to pay your parting shots, which I feel you have, but before I tell you that, we are in a season, rather we are in a current, our generation right now, we have so many things affecting people, especially because of food-related lifestyle issues, diabetes. What would you advise people? I have been in a place where you've cooked meals using natural ingredients, and then we love buying all those things, spices from the shop.
Okay.
What will be your 1 or 2 cents on that before we wind up?
As I said, it's either you make food your medicine or make medicine your food. So you're gonna be particular with what you eat. Like look at the health aspect of it, the nutritional part of it, because there are things that look good but it's zero nutrient. So you have to look at all that. Again, whenever you go for your shopping and all, take time to look at the labels of what you're buying, like what preservatives do they have, what are the ingredients and all, such stuff.
All right. So, do you mind letting us know where we can find you on social media?
Yeah, on Instagram. So for the business aspects, on Instagram you have Truthful Secrets, both on Instagram, TikTok and all. My personal handles is Amos Davis on both Facebook, Instagram and all over, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so if, in case you need to order just on Instagram, there is the business administrative. He will sort you out very nicely. She's a good lady.
All right.
Yes.
We will find her on the mtandao. Okay. So guys, that has been Amos. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the smoothie. Oh my God.
Thank you. Yeah, and as I said, I had some other goodies over here. I know there are people who are watching right now. I'm going to have a war offline because they haven't tried this. They're the first one trying it, so.
It's an honor.
So I know I'm going to have a bottle of.
I love chocolate, and I know someone ameka uko juu who does.
Why it's not a regular chocolate?
Nishaambiwa nisifinish. This is good.
Thank you.
Mautamu. This is. Thank you.
Thank you.
When I'm not shout nisifinish, sita finish now I'll uko juu. But anyway, we have to wind up this segment so that we get into the other set. Wacha kwanza ni appreciate chocolate. Guys, this is amazing. This is nice.
Thank you.
I'm a sweet tooth. Okay. Ni mautamu zinanimaliza. Amos, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the goodies.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Nasikia tu mautamu, nasikia vizuri. And because I do not even know how to finish up this segment, I am taking a short break so that I enjoy everything nice here. But we're meeting in the next segment in a few minutes. Do not touch that dial. We'll be back with more.
Okay.
Y254. Imagine.
The young generation awakens on Y254, the leading youth TV station in Kenya. We treat you to current affairs, entrepreneurship, health, and human interest conversations.
It's art, it's culture.
Movies, gossip and trends, sports, drama.
We bring you a vibe like no other, straight to your living room.
To keep you informed, inspired, entertained, and most of all, refreshed. We are such a vibe.
Y254. Imagine.
Shining in the setting sun like a pearl upon the ocean. Come and feel me, oh feel me.
कुछ कुछ होता है क्या करूँ हाय
Feelूं है पीने का मौसम तेरे संग इश्क तारी है Chemi chemi za uongo, stories za jaba ndo tingize ubongo, ndo bebe kawale tikiza kamongo.
What's up, everybody? Hope you heard of Bounce Nation. We are the latest, most stand-up show in 254.
You know how we do each and every Tuesday, Thursday. Mad vibes, mad music. When you see this face, amazing vibes, pure niceness, mad music. Now always kumbuka wewe ndoko in full control.
I'm unavailable, they know they see me.
I go by the name Feeling Jean.
And I am the beat doctor DJ Epic, straight out of Gas Chamber DJs. You know how we do.
Of course, catch us every single Tuesday and Thursday from 4 p.m. all the way to 7 p.m. for mad energy, good vibes, and interviews and interactions with your favorite celebrities.
Here on Power Talk Show, we handle conversations of current affairs that directly affect you. We do a deep dive on conversations that involve relationships, mental health, finances, and other trending issues. We also share stories of people who have faced adversaries and managed to overcome them.
I'm a person who tried committing suicide 3 times. Yes, before I reached class 7.
Tune in to Power Talk each and every Thursday at 7:10 p.m. and join in the conversation with me, Cheryl Blessing, using the hashtag Power Talk.
It's art, it's culture, it's fun, it's attitude. We sample some of the best artistic works locally and beyond our borders. Oh, and don't get me started on the cultural events. Music, dance, fine art, culinary arts, and much, much more. You name it, and we have got you covered. My name is Kevin Kasioki. Please join me each and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on Y254 channel.
Welcome to the vibrant world of Kenyan music and get ready for an extraordinary musical journey like no other. With me, Eve.
This is your favorite DJ, DJ Hariso, as they call me, the Fiesta King.
From the pioneers and the legends to the new artists,
Ati black chocolate ni fine melanin bana kutoka nikapate.
tunakuletea wasanii wote papa hapa.
Pickpocket anapenda kuzitoka.
Not only that, right here on the East Circuit, we highlight trending content creators, plug you with some funny memes, play some fun games, and so much more. Oops, under the influence. Join us to celebrate the vibe of Kenyan music on the East Circuit.
Each and every Saturday from 9 a.m. Only on Y254.
Chemi za uongo, stories za jaba ndo tingize ubongo, ndo bebe kawale tikiza kamongo.
What's up, everybody? Have you heard of Bounce Nation? We are the latest, most stand-up show in 254.
You know how we do each and every Tuesday, Thursday. Mad vibes, mad music. When you see this face, amazing vibes, pure niceness, mad music. Now always kumbuka wewe ndoko in full control.
I'm unavailable. They know they see me.
I go by the name Feeling Jean.
And I am the beat doctor DJ Epic, straight out of Gas Chamber DJs. You know how we do.
Of course, catch us every single Tuesday and Thursday from 4 p.m. all the way to 7 p.m. for mad energy, good vibes, and interviews and interactions with your favorite celebrities.
Y254. Imagine.
What's up, beautiful people? It's your host with the most, Muna Joy.
And your DJ Faro the Finisher. Catch us every Friday from 6 p.m. mpaka saa 2 usiku on Tano Kali Show.
Right here on Kenya's #1 channel, Y254.
Oh yeah, baby, jamboree. I like the way we gone, buddy.
We're going to be giving you hot trending topics that are happening on social media platforms. We will also be interviewing hella talented artists on the show as well.
Kama kawaida, I'll be here to give you the best mixes. Alafu sahau pia kuna top 5 hits of the week.
All right, see you then.
Like I never loved me in my life. So love me like you never loved me.
Ever wanted your voice to be heard, your opinion to matter? Where else if not here on Unfinished, where we focus on matters related to business, politics, entertainment, name it all. Join us every Saturday at 7 p.m. on Y254 Unfinished, because this is the only place where we get to finish matters.
Y254. Imagine.
Shining in the setting sun like a pearl upon the ocean. Come and feel me, oh feel me.
कुछ कुछ होता है क्या करूँ हाय
Feelूं है पीने का मौसम तेरे संग इश्क तारी है.
It's art, it's culture, it's fun, it's attitude. We sample some of the best artistic works locally and beyond our borders. Oh, and don't get me started on the cultural events. Music, dance, fine art, culinary arts, and much, much more. You name it, and we have got you covered. My name is Kevin Kasioki. Please join me each and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on Y254 channel.
The young generation awakens on Y254, the leading youth TV station in Kenya. We treat you to current affairs, entrepreneurship, health, and human interest conversations.
It's art, it's culture.
Movies, gossip and trends, sports,
Drama.
We bring you a vibe like no other, straight to your living room.
To keep you informed, inspired, entertained,
and most of all, refreshed.
We are such a vibe.
Y254. Imagine.
What's up, beautiful people? It's your host with the most, Muna Joy.
And your DJ Faro the Finisher catches every Friday from 6 p.m. mpaka saa 2 usiku on Tano Kali Show.
Right here on Kenya's #1 channel, Y254.
Oh yeah, baby Jamboree. I like the way we gone, buddy.
We're going to be giving you hot trending topics that are happening on social media platforms. We will also be interviewing hella talented artists on the show as well.
Kama kawaida, I'll be here to give you the best mixes. Alafu sahau pia kuna top 5 hits of the week.
All right, see you then.
Like I never loved in my life. So love me like you never loved me.
Do you know where you are? We call it Tea Room.
The room is now officially open.
Trending topics right here in Kenya and internationally as well.
We're all about tea. We're about to serve you the hottest tea in town.
We are bringing you celeb gossip, yeah, celeb news, what's been happening throughout the week.
Well, this is because we're all about the entertainment world. Trust us to serve it hot because we are all about being in other people's businesses and nothing is off limits. Sundays at 7 p.m.
DJ Andy C. Moyo wa mtaa.
Kujinice, hapa ni kujinice. Kuna joto, cool down na ice.
Kile mimi nataka tu
Andy C.
sema kitafanyika. Kile mimi nataka tu kisema kitafanyika. Shindwe, 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 pepo shindwe.
When you turn up, when you turn up, when you show up, when you turn up.
Catch DJ Andy C each and every Sunday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. only on Y254 channel.
Y254. Imagine.
Welcome back to Y254 TV. This is still Y in the morning and tumetoka kukunyusha smoothie and then tukakula chocolate and we remember we set goals for slimming this year. Yeah, but anyway, we are on to WCW and remembering the conversation we had in the first segment when I was asking you, what goals have you set for this year? Imagine that was our question of the day. Simple as that. What goals do you want to achieve this year? I'll be reading your comments from across our social media handles, the comments you've sent through. I will be reading them before the show ends. But in the meantime, I have amazing, pretty ladies to talk to us about goal setting. You know, Mr. Kipspendi kuplan. So I feel like today I have been put on the spot because I was just sharing with them the goal that I told you I'm looking forward to achieving. I want to be slim, but we will be here 6 months down the line. You will tell me. If you see me nikikam chubby, I am slim. That is my definition of being slim. But anyway, let's move to the ladies. They have interesting names. Wow. do I say your names? Or do I just let you say your names? Because they're amazing. Okay. So where do we start?
I'm okay to
Exactly.
start.
Shalom will say you start.
Yes. My name is Tuesday Jerry Shege. So Tuesday is my name. And it's a name I love. I was born on a Tuesday, just so in case you're asking. I was born on a beautiful Tuesday morning.
Amazing.
And my name is Shalom Munyiri. And yeah, mine means peace. Now that you're talking about interesting names. Yeah, mine means peace.
All right. Yeah. So, do you have goals? Have you guys set goals for the year?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Serious people like you have set goals. And serious people like me have not. I will defend myself there in the course of the show. Yeah. But what are your goals? The shareable ones.
Yeah. The shareable one. One of my goals is actually having this talk. This was a goal in my vision board. I write a vision board.
All right.
And I do it on the 31st. So I look at my 2024. So I review along the way in the year. I've been checking them, and I checked most of them. And actually, talking on air and on social media was one of my goals in 2024, which I didn't accomplish. So I actually did a carry forward.
Okay.
And here we are on the 8th of January, and it is there. I'm so glad that it is actually happening.
Hello.
Mine are also, okay, let me first put it this way. It's very difficult to set goals when you haven't reflected on the past, whether it's year or month or whatever it might be. So having reflected on what happened in 2024, my 2025 goals just include 10xing what I did in 2024. I wrote a new book, so it's to see what advancing that book will look like. Maybe write another one. I have like a draft somewhere that may come out. But then on top of that is also to get into coaching so that I also increase my personal development. Those are the two main ones. The rest are acquiring some two things, you know.
No,
I don't want to say in case you catch me and tell me did you. Yeah, but yeah.
I think I do not have goals.
You do.
Or rather, I tend to think I'm a spontaneous person. So I love let life come as it comes.
That's a goal.
And for me, the biggest, I think, goal I'm having this year is slimming and procrastination. I am a procrastinator. My God, even something that we need to do right now, I will tell you, can we do it today or can we do it tomorrow? And I have realized it's actually a problem. So I am here. So I'm also going to benefit from this conversation. So where do we start from? You are both goal setters. What's the importance of setting goals?
Yes, if I may, I'm a professional coach, certified coach, and I'm also have over 20 years of HR background. And over time, setting goals is critical. You started with planning. I must say that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That's without a doubt, yes? So planning is key. Right? So, and in planning, so you're setting goals, you need to write them down. You need to know what goals that you have. You have to have a vision. I think the very first thing is a vision. So what direction do you want to go in your life? Right? And where is that coming from? What's informing the decisions in your life? So the vision is critical, and vision is not one-sided. It's not career, it is holistic, a whole total person. So it's physical wellness, like you have mentioned, like you want to slim, mental well-being, if it is family, social, all things you need to be first and foremost very clear what you want. Then you can set the goals.
Okay. Be clear, that set goals. Shalom?
I think one of the things, I wasn't always a goal setter per se, in terms of, like when you call me a goal setter, you're making me feel like a fraud. But before I started enjoying setting the goals, it is achieving some goals that made me then get to that place. So I think the importance of setting goals, one of the important things about setting goals is that it keeps you on track and it helps you celebrate something, you know? if you said that I wanted to do something by the time I'm 25, if you don't achieve it by 25, it can be demotivating, right? But you see, like what Tuesday just said, she had a 2024 goal, and then now here it is. It has happened within less than 10 days of the new year. It gives you psych to actually set another goal. So I think the importance of setting goals is that it gives you a measure of some of the things that you're achieving, the direction you're going. It is a motivator because you'll meet them. It helps you course correct, adjust. Like now, if you didn't slim, so what? Right? What did you do? You enjoyed life, you did this, said, okay, maybe I hadn't said, it helps you assess where you're at. So I think setting goals is important to give you direction. But then when we get into how do you even set the goals, now that's where the trouble comes in.
That's my next question, because for people like me, where do I start? Because I tend, when I start thinking about, I'm speaking for myself and many others, when I start thinking about unaniambia ni plan, I start feeling like umeniingiza kwa box, umenifungia, and I feel suffocated.
Yes.
So I am like, I would really love to plan, but now where do I start from? How do we set goals?
Okay. So where do we start from? So that's where I start my coaching skills with you. And we'll ask you, Grace.
Not we're part of free coaching class.
Yes, exactly. So Grace, I'll ask you, what's important to you? What's important to you in that goal that you're making? Why is it important to you?
Because I want to, let's just go to the sleeving part, because I do not have a problem with talking about weight.
Yes, good.
I do not like tires, and now I am seeing those lines zinataka kuanza kujikata, and I'm like, no. I want a more lean body. I do not have a problem with the way I look.
Yeah.
But the feeling that I am starting to seeing lines start forming on my body, I'm like, hold up. No.
Yeah, it's good that you are clear that you don't want that. Yeah. And so you want to do something about it. So what's stopping you?
No, I feel like I'm not.
That's what coaching is about. So coaching is about, really, if I may, coaching is about, it is you who has the solutions to your problem or to your situation. So coaching, unlike counseling or training, is that it's you partnering with a coach to get you to where you want to go. And the solutions are inside you. Right? So when I ask what's stopping you, you've already said procrastination. So how do we deal with it? And that's where then you need somebody to walk you through and may hold you accountable and just say, so then how do I get myself? So what are the options? What options do you have to ensure that then you take that one step? You know, as you know, it's also good to know your hindrances and obstacles. How do you address them? Who can help you? What are the resources you have? Yeah.
Amazing. Sure. Hello. What do you want to put in there?
In terms of how to go about it, I like what you asked. Where do I even start? And she got to the place of asking you, what do you want? Right? Where to start is, what do you want? But then a thing I hear a lot from young people, I'm a counseling psychologist, so I work a lot with young people in terms of just their mental wellness. And one thing I hear is, I don't even know what I want. Great. What don't you want? Do you get? Because sometimes when we don't know what you want, you may know what you don't want. Then we start looking at, okay, how do we make sure that what you don't want doesn't happen? So I don't want to be broke by the end of 2025. I may not know that I want to make 500,000 bob, but I don't want to be broke by 2025. Okay, so now we start looking at what are the things that would make you broke. And then you anti-do them. You know, like, because you're clear what you don't want, what do you need to do to ensure that you don't get what you don't want?
That was me last year. Oh, I want to save up. Hey!
For what? Do you get?
Exactly.
I want to save up. So, if you save up 500 shillings, have you achieved your goal?
Have I?
Yes.
Yes.
Because you have saved. But now because you didn't specify, you've had all those formulas of goals.
I think that's my problem.
You see,
because I do not have a reason for the things I am doing.
Exactly.
So that's why I don't.
So when you peg it to something, that's another very big how. Peg it to something. And there's like a financial app that I have been, and I'm not going to talk about it because not promoting anything. But one of the things that I've loved about it is that it helps you name the goal, even if it is shopping. lunch, raha, spontaneity, bicycle, whatever it might be, you save towards that thing. It really helps when you know what you're saving towards. So I keep saying that even for young people, you want to buy a shoe, save. That shoe is costing maybe 5 to 10K. No problem. Save pole pole and you say, I saved and bought this shoe. Because one of the biggest hindrances to us achieving our goals is comparing them to other people's goals or calling them non-serious. Like, you sit with somebody and then you think, gosh, you're setting such goals. What kind of goals do I have now? Buying a shoe.
You're speaking.
Buying a shoe is enough. Yes. Going on a trip is enough. Having a weekend away is enough. That's still a goal. It gets you going to then setting goals that will grow you as you go. Yeah, so that's what I'd say with the how.
You feel like you want to add something.
Yes, she's spot on, because goals have to be specific. I think you're familiar with SMART goals. So make them specific, make them measurable, make them achievable, make them relevant. So relevant is not someone else's goal, it's your goal. And time bound, right? So like she said, the shoe, 500 shilling shoe. That's very specific. And then you want to say by when? You can even put the time. But it is also by my birthday, for example. You know, you want to give yourself a gift, and achievable. So it's not outlandish. It's something that you know you can actually accomplish. So being specific is also critical. Yeah.
Why do you think? Now I'm asking a question I know I'm part of. But why do you think people are afraid of setting goals?
Wow, fear of failure. We grow up being victimized, punished, judged when you don't fail. Did you hear when we started, I told you there's some goals I won't tell you because if I tell you, you might, you know? That's why we fear setting goals. Like, once I have said that this is a goal, then I don't achieve it, what are people going to think of me? Right? That's I think, one of the biggest things. Then the more you set, when you don't, she's talking about SMART goals. When you don't set a goal that's achievable, then you don't achieve it, you start having a self-identity thing of, okay, I never keep my word, I'm always this. You start calling yourself, I'm a procrastinator, I'm a this, I'm a the other. You call yourself names that get you to a place where you're not actually going towards your goals. Then it's something we call a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now you start proving to yourself, I'm not even that kind of person. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why we fear goals, judgment from people. Yeah.
And the other one is what you said, procrastination. You're saying today is the 8th, I have the whole year.
Yeah, you got a 300 more
days to set. So the earlier you start, the better. Write them down and be visual. Like she said, vision boards are good because then you draw. Say, for example, if you want that shoe, you can actually draw the kind of shoe you want, right? If you want to, this year, to have a driver's license, so where do you start, right? So write it down, like even you can copy and paste and print something of a driver's license, so you'll be seeing it, right? But if you don't write it and just have it in your mind, then it's just there. But writing it and reflecting on it actually makes it happen. Yeah. So the earlier you start, the better.
Okay. So how do she talked about goals sometimes why we feel we don't want to make goals, or rather we don't want to set goals is because we feel like mine are smaller than hers, or maybe blah, da, 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 da. So how are we able to break big goals into smaller achievable goals?
So big goals depend on where you want to go. So the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step, right? So you could have a goal that is this month, 2 months, 2 years, 5 years. So goals can be, they don't have to be, you know, like the whole year. It is really dependent on, you say, okay, I want to get married someday. So where do I start, right? So that's a goal, but it is in Yeah. So anything that is, and what are the steps are you going to make to get there? So break it down in realistic steps. Set them in a way that it is not too much for you, and it is only you know how much you can handle, right? Don't compare with anybody else. It's you. Remember, you're dealing with you. This goes about me, right? And how I want to show up in life, right? So, so if I want that driver's license, and it is a goal because I want maybe to start driving, I want to drive my kids to school, or I want to have a Uber business, whatever the reason, you know it's your goal. But where do you start, right? So there is taking the test to start with, isn't it? So break it down slowly, so that don't look at the big one, the taking the test. You have to do the written test. You have to have an A8 or whichever company to help you learn, right? So let it not look like so humongous. Start with what you have and what you can, and progressively make that step. And don't feel bad that, like I said, you see, I didn't do anything for my this goal last year, right? And I didn't beat myself to it because I didn't. I was like, okay, I'll just move it forward, right? So I think the most important thing is you just take those steps that you can handle. Yeah.
All right.
Probably what I can do is illustrate with a typical goal that I'm assuming your audience is young, right? So there's this thing I hear, I want to move out of home. Goal. This year I must live on my own. Great. You start by asking, where are you going to stay? Where would you like to stay? Check the rents of that area, right? Now you know very well that for you to pay rent, you'll have to be paying rent monthly, isn't it? So do you have a job that's going to manage that rent? Now before you go there, because another question to ask is, what would make me not achieve that goal? Right? So you remove all barriers, right? Now, so let's say you have found a place, you have decided this is the area, I want to pay rent of 10K maybe. So I need a salo that's going to give me at least that much for rent. But you can't be working only for rent. So there's other things too. How are you going to feed yourself, blah, 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 all that. But remember the reflection thing that I said at the beginning, that you need to reflect backwards to go forward. Look at your current status. There's a joke we have with my young people. I'm a parent of young people. And we say, if your parent had a double sink, make sure that you have something close to that. You will not get a double sink in an SQ. But what does that mean? You'll need to wash your dishes. You'll need to, you need that space at all. So what is your process? Start buying your dishes before you get the house. Say for your bed, for your fridge, for your microwave. Like, get all those things pole before you actually say, I am moving out. So by the time you're moving out, at least you have comfort in that house. Gone are the days when you only moved out with a mattress. I think we don't need to have such hardship, right? If you can, plan yourself to get to the place where you're moving out with a few things. Where you're able to actually go home and rest after a hard day's work. Even if you don't have the bed, at least have a nice enough mattress, but you're eating food that you like. You're able to pop into the microwave. Try and check, reflect on the life that you have had when you're setting the goal for the life you want to have. And then start working in that direction. Something else I have found that really helps is to practice paying bills. While you're still in your folks' place, start practicing paying bills. Buy a thing, buy food for whatever, pay security, pay for CG Wi-Fi. You start practicing having your money go away. When you live with your bills, because you'll have already accustomed your mind to paying some of those things. So, because we as people sabotage ourselves when it comes to goal setting, set yourself up to succeed. Make achieving goals familiar, even for your brain, not just kawaida, but familiar. Where I know very well, see, I've been paying Wi-Fi at my mom's place. It's probably been 3,000 bob. Here, I can share with the guys in my apartment building, and we do one karuta, we split the bill. You're already getting used to paying it. So make it manageable, bite size, and then walk your steps towards that place. And it's with whatever it is that you want. With starting a business, look around. I mean, there's many examples that we could give, but I'm saying start small, make it realistic, look at the life you're living, so that you're not jumping to something so different that your brain gets into shock. Like, wow, I want to go back where I came from. Set yourself up to succeed.
That's so eye-opening. That's so eye-opening. I mean, a lot of us young people want to move out and make it in one day. And the other day we were having a conversation with someone, and he was saying the reason why they fault the mentality parents tell their children, soma, uende shule poa, upate pesa.
It's a lie.
Because now the goal has been, you need to make money. The goal has not been, you need to be fulfilled while doing what you're doing. So what do? Now we want Forex, we want betting, we want those things because we are looking for quick success. And it's really eye-opening what you say. We teach ourselves to
succeed,
pole, like achieve those smaller goals. So what do you believe in, both of you? Do you believe in setting one big goal for the year or setting mini small goals?
Maybe like I said in the beginning, is that I believe, you're a whole person, right? So you have different aspects of your life. So it is good to set those goals. So if it is physical, you want to do, running or go to the gym once a week or twice a week. So those are manageable, and there's other bigger ones. But you have, you're a whole person. If it is spiritual, then you say, okay, I want to serve in the church. Am I good at singing? And remember, most of the things we set are things that we are inherently God-given. Whatever God has given you, each one of us has a purpose in this life. Your purpose, Grace, is not mine or Shalom's. So, and if we don't fulfill it, then we are not actually doing what we were brought here to be. So knowing that helps us remember that we cannot just sit put, right? And there are different aspects of our lives that we need. So if it is family, if it's parents, listening to your parents, and by the way, parents have a lot of wisdom. Sometimes, because you want, that quick reach, everything quickly, listening to your parents and asking them, how's your journey, and what can I learn, what is it, mistakes I can avoid, right? Because sometimes we will see our children doing this and we are like, please don't go there, right, please. But then they're like, no, you don't know because my friend said this. But I think those bits of listening to other people who've been there, right? So be holistic. It's not just about money. It's about the whole. What contribution do you give to the community, to the society, right? To the environment. Me as Tuesday, what is my role in my family, my children, my husband, my community, my church, right? So it's not also more about me. It's about the whole me showing up in every space and having those meaningful conversations and being present and being somebody who actually is contributing to the well-being of the society and your family and everywhere. So I think that's what I would say I believe in.
All right, Shalom.
Big versus small. There's team go big or go home. Who wants to actually set the big goal. But we go back to who are you. Self-awareness is such a big thing when it comes to even goal setting, with life as a whole. But just being aware of who you are as a person. Because if I'm the kind of person who, if I set a big goal and I don't meet it, I'll drown. I shouldn't set a big goal.
Okay.
Right? Then remember what I said about the value of goals. When you achieve them, it feels good. And it boosts you to go set more goals. Now that's the value of small goals. So how I prefer to do it is a combination of both. I have a big, hairy, audacious goal. If you've heard of BHAGs, right? Big, hairy, audacious goal that I want to meet for the year. But I know the only way to meet it is to actually set smaller goals that will take me in that direction. Because then at the end of the year, when I haven't met that goal, if I haven't met that goal, I'm able to look at the small goals that have managed to get me there. So I prefer to do a mix of both, right? Have a big one and also have a few small ones. Because what do I want by the end of January? What do I want by the end of February? What do I want by my birthday? What do I want, you know, half year and things like that. And life has a way of allowing us to reflect quarterly, you know, weekly, monthly, quarterly, half year, you know, and then towards the end of the year. And you won't do that if you're not setting both. So I'm for both. The big one is scary. The big one is audacious, right? Is serious guts. But it can motivate you or demotivate you depending on who you are. You don't want to set a goal that is so hard that you struggle so much to get to it and then end up beating yourself up because of the failure and people judging you and things like that. So I'd say do a mix of both. Yeah, have small ones and have that big one that's motivating you to be bigger.
All right. So how do we ensure that we stay on track when we set goals? Because now we have set them. We have, whether it's big or small, now we are here where I have
Now I
one
have
to
my
three
goals.
goals.
Yeah.
Here are my goals. How do I ensure that I stay on track whilst achieving those goals?
Do you want to go?
Yeah. Yes. So how do I stay on track? Yes. Yeah. So those goals, and I must add here that it's good to dream big. It's not bad to dream big. Dream and put it there, and it doesn't have to be achieved this year. You can pack it.
Okay.
Yeah, pack it. But you have a vision. This is where I want to go. So it is okay to do that. And don't beat yourself if you don't do it, because you're saying, this is my 10-year goal. So, ni sawa. So if it is a big car you want at some point, take a picture and put it somewhere. But then start with driving lessons. You see, that's a small goal that will take you there. So, but how do you keep in track? That's why then you need to be positive, and you need people to hold you accountable. That's why you need a life coach who is here, to walk you through, to ask you those hard questions. How far are we going, Grace, on the tires? Right? So I will be like, they were talking, how are we doing? Yes. Oh, this week I did a few, and then maybe, and then how can we improve next week? Right? Right, yeah. If you didn't achieve what you wanted this week, that's okay. So how can we improve next week, right? Have somebody who holds you accountable, right? And on track. And also be serious yourself, and they're realistic. If they're realistic, then we have already covered that. So be focused and try the obstacles we talked about. Try not to, when they come, look for ways to ensure that they are not coming your way, right? So it's fear of failure. Then you're like, no, I'm positive, and even if I don't achieve it this year, I can achieve it next year, right? Be positive, like you are moving forward. Whatever progress you're making some progress. So I don't think you should be afraid, and you need help. You need help. You need people to work with you. Accountability partner, whoever it is, if it is your friend, your relative, a coach, whoever you feel needs to hold you accountable, so that you are like, actually I need to be asked those hard questions so that I stay on track.
All right, is that how we cultivate self-discipline?
Yes, slowly by slowly. Now, you see, by just that thing you've called it self-discipline, it's about me. So we can choose to be accountability partners, but you end up being more self-disciplined than the rest of us. Now, self-discipline will be depending on what are you disciplining yourself towards, right? And yeah, so that's one of the ways of cultivating self-discipline. But even with accountability, there's an accountability partner like a coach who will ask you, how are you doing? And hold you accountable. But there's also the accountability partner who does it with you.
Okay.
Right? If you're planning on slimming, do you have a friend who also has a similar goal? There's something powerful about having shared goals, because then you move as a tribe. It's so much easier to achieve goals with a tribe than it is to do it on your own. So even self-discipline, much as yes, I will have the self-discipline, it is harder to be self-disciplined when there's nobody being self-disciplined next to me. with their own self. So that we are keeping each other in touch, right? And telling, hey, me, this is what I did, this is what I struggled with. Okay, come, let's go do it together. Set time to do it together. Because that team thing helps. But another thing I have found that really helps is a reward.
Okay.
You know those people who like,
Yeah.
right? Reward yourself. Every time you achieve something, reward yourself. Yes. Do a thing, whatever that small thing is, that actually celebrates the achieving of that goal. And don't get extravagant. Like, the reward should match the achievement. Right? I'm not going to go for an international holiday when all I've done is finish a small goal over here. Don't match. Right? So again, back to being realistic. And rewarding also helps you keep on track and achieve those goals.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, in the event that a goal has not been achieved, what do I do?
Step one. Step one, forgive yourself, especially if you approach it from you're beating yourself up about it. But back again to reflection. Why didn't I achieve this goal? Maybe it was too high. COVID happened. What, you know, there are external factors that will affect the meeting of that goal. Death in the family, you know, somebody falling sick, money therefore gets diverted, whatever it might be. So start assessing, why didn't I achieve the goal? And please, why I said start with forgiveness is don't judge yourself. There's nothing as bad as you being the one who's judging yourself for having not achieved the goal. So let's start with, imagine forgive yourself. And I don't mean flip it away and say it's never that serious, although it's never that serious, but don't flip it away. If the goal meant something to you, assess it and see what happened. And how can I do it different? Yeah. There's lots of things that have ended up not being able to do, and then doing them in a very short time, just by virtue of looking, as a result of just looking at it and thinking, okay, so what made me not achieve it? I didn't set aside time for it. Yeah.
All right. As a coach,
yes,
what advice would you give someone who's under pressure because they didn't achieve their goals?
Under pressure from who?
Like from themselves,
Yes.
from maybe the external factors.
Yes.
I've come to you.
Yes.
It's almost 10 months into the year, or
Yes.
11 months.
Yeah.
I am 73 now,
Yeah.
and then 10 months into the year, I am 80. And you're now feeling like,
yes.
I have not been
I'm
able
going
to
the
achieve
opposite
that.
direction.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
What advice would you give someone?
So advisors, just adding to what Shalom has said, yes, is first, don't beat yourself, forgive yourself. And then just to review the steps and commitment you made. What has not worked, right? So if it is diet, what diet have you changed, you know? Has it been, what are the reasons or the factors that did not help to get your goal, right? So if those factors didn't help, then what can you do about it, right? The other thing then, if it bothers you, if it doesn't bother you, the 80 kilos, do they bother you? If they continue bothering you, then you really have to have an internal conversation, really a hard one, and say, really, am I serious, right? Or then you might say, I will accept, and drop it, right? So, because then, why? The why is critical. Why, right? Why didn't you, and why are you wanting to lose weight? Is it because everybody else is losing weight? Or is it the doctor who has said? So there are many reasons. And so if it affects your health, your well-being, then maybe it's critical. And so do you need a professional to support you, ensure you stick to it, right? To have that seriousness and have it tailored to your needs.
Okay.
So that it's specific to you. But again, don't be hard on yourself. You know, go slow, but look at the target, even if taking that picture of your slim you and saying, this is where I want to go. This is me. This is me.
Okay.
And every time maybe you see the chocolate, you are like, you are not helping them either. So you actually say, chocolate, I'm sorry. Like being able to make those small decisions along the way that will help you drop whatever it is that is not taking you to the right direction.
All right. So before we wind up, because I'm being told time is not on our side, let me read a few comments from people. Ni mwaka mpya, jaribu hata kukua mnono. Okay, na mimi nataka kukonda. I don't want to be kind of no. I was just giving those comments, so I want to really. Good morning, goals ni mob. But acha hii January ishe kwanza. Pesa Nyingi Media is saying that. Bet Jared is saying this area must be Limuru. All right. Kinjo Elias anasema balozi wa amani Afrika Mashariki, nafuatilia kutoka eneo bunge la Endebes constituency, Trans Nzoia County. Thank you. Spata is saying ndo okay, ndio anaenda shule atatumiss. All right, we'll miss you too. Brian anasema following up the show from Tasia, Nairobi. Thank you. Julius is saying good morning. Makuyu Muranga well represented from the man. DJ Pointer is saying good morning. Tarakanithi Tukondani. Thank you very much. Kennedy is saying show kubwa. Thank you. Beatrice is saying could make it in life and give my mom the best, all the best. Kizito is saying watching live from Mwanda. Then Charles is saying watching from Karatina. Void Town locked in. Kalami Val, we miss you, Bana. Val will be back in a few. All right. Then Kamkuyo Bungoma Gochea, I'm a fan of Arsenal. All right. Bungoma na Mirembe locked in from Meshach. Thank you. Kevo watching live from Teso. Thank you. The comments are so many, which are nice. Sija complain, by the way, guys. Joshua Mulindo is saying following. Thank you. Robert is saying good morning. Good morning. All right. Vincent is saying Mlolongo locked in. Hello, good morning. Straight out Void, that is Dangila. Thank you. And then good morning, locked up in Irungu. Shifter anasema mimi nataka kununua nduthi. I pray it will work. Amen. All right. Then David is saying tuko pamoja nataka kulima. That's an amazing goal. All right. Salimia watu wa Subukia. All right, David, tumesalimia watu wa Subukia. All right, then there's one else. Let me take two more. Someone is saying tuned in as usual from the Mangari Meru, biggest fan. All right, thank you very much. And then Mato wa Kikuyu anasema watching nikiwa Kikuyu, and so on and so forth. Thank you very much for the comments. We love reading comments. Your salamus, everything you say are well appreciated. So as we finish this year, nishamaliza 2025 like I am already in 2026.
Yes.
No, as we finish,
you've achieved your goals.
Yes. I'll put in effort. This talk has put in some sense into me. Okay. So as we wind up, what would you want to advise young people in terms of whoever is setting goals? Mwenye just set kama mimi now, we've been encouraged. However you want to take it, we'll start with you, Tuesday.
Yes. From me, wana youth, na muomba muandike hizo goals. Muziandike hivyo kwa karatasi, piga hiyo picha ya nduthi, iweke pahali, wewe ukiona na uanze kusave pole 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 pole. Inawezekana, pata dreams kubwa. Don't set off for small dreams. Enda kwa dreams kubwa. Na uwe na imani, stay positive, na uombe ati Mungu akusaidie, uweke hizo plans zako mbele ya Mungu na atakusaidia. So I'm sure mutaweza kuachieve goals zenyu za mwaka wa 2025.
We live in a tech world. Where may we find you on social media?
So I am on LinkedIn.
Serious people.
I'm only on LinkedIn at the moment. But watch this space for Instagram, Facebook.
So that's
YouTube.
Your goal this year.
That's my goal. There you go.
go.
Yes, thank you.
Shalom.
Oh, good. Wow, what would I want to say? I want to ride on that goals ni mob. What does this go mob? Like, I like them, do the one specific, you know? Let them not be too many, because it becomes harder to achieve. Then when you have that 1K goal, find out 3 things, make it simple to achieve. Just 3 things that you will do to achieve that. Then when you look at those 3 things, have 5 to strategies. Peke yake. So make it as simple as you can so that you're getting to the next action that is not dependent on anything else.
All right.
Do you get the next action that's not dependent on anything else for you to then make the steps to go up there?
All right.
So I'd say make it bite size.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for talking to us. And thank you for putting some sense into my head. I'll achieve those goals.
You will.
You will.
Yes, Grace.
That has
Thank you
been
for having
it. That has been it from us here at Y254. Leo nimekunyosha smoothie. I have been given 2 cents on goal setting. So tukikuja 6 months down the line while we do reviews, we will be doing amazing reviews. That is it from us here at Y254 TV. Thank you for having tuned in. My name is Grace Maingi. Do have a lovely day.
Thank you for having us.